Travolting presents Bobbin for Robin. Hosted by Jeff Sweeney and Stuart Elmore. Covering What Dreams May Come, with special guest Mark Tilley. It's great how like the very opening of our intro is very in line with the tone of like how this movie should feel like, right?
Yeah.
But then when the intro turns into like goofy, that's also kind of in line with the tone of this movie a little bit.
Stuart, you make the assumption that this movie has a tone. This is your first mistake.
Well, I mean, does it have a tone? If there was a tone.
Bobbin for Robin. You guys are crazy. Did you guys like shake hands after that one? You guys like, yep.
That's it.
Mark, this isn't your first time.
No, but I don't remember
Stuart tried to hit me with some shit like the Robin's Nest. And I said, absolutely not.
I don't know. Because nothing like we come off of 3 back-to-back bangers of Travolting, Fraser's Edge, Easy Riders. Then you got Robin Williams, and it's like,
Will I M's? No, it didn't.
I don't know. Like,
You guys could call this podcast "Robin Your Time."
well, that was like Cole Bradley.
Cole Bradley wanted us to call this Robin the Grave.
I remember that. And that's why. That's why he's not on as much as I am.
Yeah, this is like your 17th time on our show, Mark.
Gladly.
definitely not.
Isn't it like a dream? Doesn't it feel like you died and came back to heaven being on this podcast?
Hell. This is the hell that I've imagined. Yeah, it's just you two and Werner Herzog's face in the ground. That's my hell.
Oh man, you went straight there. We were definitely going to talk about Werner Herzog in the ground.
Werner, why is he in this?
Because I think he was
it's cool, but
he was a guy Vincent Ward liked. But we'll get into it.
The Werner Herzog cameo is like kind of just a case study of the problem of this movie. Is that every time it should be a very like that's a very pivotal dramatic scene, and it stops dead in its tracks to have like a bit with Werner Herzog.
But I don't think most people going to see this for Robin Williams know that's Werner Herzog.
I don't think most people would be aware, but to us or even if you don't know who it is, the movie stops to do a bit with a guy in the ground. Because he's like, oh, is it my dad? And it's like, no, I'm Mr. Klaus. And it's like, okay.
I think the problem with that scene is that it is this thing of he's about to step on this guy and the guy's like, son,
Yeah.
or whatever he is. And he's like, are you my dad?
Yeah.
Are you my dad down here? What the fuck? And then Werner Herzog does this weird thing where he's talking out to Klaus Kaminsky, the actor who's his friend. And then it's this weird, and they had a weird relationship after their movies. And it's like this meta thing that's happening. That's, for people who are in on it, that's what's more confusing is wow, what the
Why
fuck?
would you do
Why
that?
are we, okay. It's so many ideas in a movie that has lots of ideas, but has not interested in exploring any of them whatsoever.
Every time this movie threatens to kind of get at something where you're like, oh, it's like, well, we're going to introduce 7 more concepts of the afterlife.
But here's something what other movies are primarily set in the afterlife or in heaven? What are the afterlife movies, heaven or hell?
I know a few I don't know why, but my first thought went to the TV show The Good Place. But I mean, I feel like that's so wildly
Heaven Can Wait,
not.
which I don't think I've seen since I was very
Defending
little.
Your Life.
Defending Your Life.
Did you just Google movies set in the afterlife?
A Matter of Life and Death is about sort of the afterlife and the process of getting into heaven. That's sort of the big one that I was thinking of. That has a very unique take on heaven. Is sort of this it's kind of going through customs, kind of. It's about getting approved and your soul and stuff like that.
And that's the stuff in this movie that I was really interested in. let's get into it. Let's do it.
Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice
Takes place in the afterlife.
But this movie is much more like astral plane heaven, sort of like.
You guys seen A Ghost Story?
Yeah, of course.
I actually have not seen A Ghost
Oh,
Story.
you like that movie?
I
a
bet
lot.
Becca
like
loves
Ghost
it, and she tells me I would like it. And I'm like, I bet I would. Maybe it'll be an October watch.
Her
this
and I
year.
have talked about that movie because that she has said that's a movie. Like she has a few movies that like don't come together for her until the last scene, sort of where like everything ties together very.
One of my all-time favorite Becca stories, my wife, is I came home from, I don't know what I was doing. You and I were probably seeing a movie, if I were to bet. And I come home and she's watching After Sun.
This is exactly what I'm. Yeah,
she's watching After Sun.
Yeah.
And there's like 20 minutes left of the movie. And I hadn't seen After Sun, so I'm like, hey, I'm gonna go hang out in the other room just because I want to watch this. How is it? And she's like, it's all right. It's not really coming together for me. And so I go into the other room, and then 15 minutes later, she comes in bawling and says that's one of the best movies I've ever seen.
Yeah. Have you
And
seen
it was
it?
like,
No.
Oh, dude, I'll give you the
to.
disc. I'll give it to you.
and it's like just it all comes together in like the final like 5 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
I think we had a similar situation on this show with
Rage had to pull me out of the music box. I was
curled
up.
like The Age of Innocence was a movie that like really does like it's obviously very sumptuous and there's a lot to it, but it's not until you get that like you just play out the rest of Daniel Day-Lewis's life.
Yeah.
And you realize like this whole movie is about a guy who just like wasted his life.
Down bad.
The Last Temptation of Christ is that movie for me where like that movie doesn't make sense to me.
Well, how does that end?
Until the Peter Gabriel song comes in at the end. Mm-hmm. You've seen that movie, right?
No, I've not actually.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
But how does it end? What happens to Jesus?
Exactly.
No.
Don't spoil it for those.
I've been meaning to go through all the Scorsese's I have not seen. It's a big blind
It's
spot.
his best movie.
It's the best movie?
Probably. Yeah. Or that or Age of Innocence. I don't know.
It's a little rude to Hugo. Hugo whips, to be clear, but
The Lovely Bones kept coming up and looking at movies set in the afterlife.
That's a movie that's very similar to this, kind of in its
and ethereal tone, right?
and sort of like a religion, you know, version of heaven, where it's like more about like heaven is more about like the people, who impacted you in your life, and not so much like one deity. I don't know much about like Buddhism, but this movie feels like it has some sort of like
this movie is a very like non-committal religion. Heaven.
I read somewhere that it's got elements of like Wicca afterlife.
Well, it has. It's like a mix of like there's a lot of Christian overtone, but also there's Greek because there's Cerberus. This is kind of like an Orpheus and Eurydice thing.
Very much so.
It seems like that would be like if you're trying to make a fantasy movie that doesn't want to get, because there's that one line where he's like, well, where's God in all of this? And he just says like, he's up there. I'm like, but you're up there.
Like this movie is deeply not committed to like getting into what the theology of it is.
There's no like devil or Satan.
And there is reincarnation, you know.
There's reincarnation.
And it's like there's not rules to this, but like there are rules, and like it's actually pretty easy to get to hell. All you have to go do is find your dad or your doctor in heaven, and your doctor will take you to
And he just, I don't want to spoil the end. We'll get to that. That was like there's a lot of parts of this movie that bump me, but like
I don't know. Yeah.
I think, let me
there
finish your
sentence. There are so many
for
rules
you,
that there are no rules.
There are so many rules, but there are no consequences to breaking the rules.
And it never makes it satisfying for the audience in a way that's like they can engage with it.
Yeah.
You know,
I think
the
ending is the pinnacle of what we're talking about, where it's like there are rules, but seemingly there's no consequences to any of these rules. And we'll get to that when we get to that. But
let's get to that.
Well, anyway, I want to get to that. But first,
should we? Can I go in a Lovely Bones corner for like 1 minute?
Yeah.
Lovely Bones movie shot in my hometown.
Nice.
The exact suburb of Philly that I'm from. It was huge news. Peter Jackson, Lord of the Rings guys coming to town. Everybody would go out. They shot at this house like down the street from my grandmother's.
Did you go out and see it?
I was like, were you there? Like when
you
they
were
were
like a Lord of
doing
the
it?
Rings
Like,
obsessed kid.
just trying to think of when the movie
we
came
drove
out.
by they were filming. I can drive you to the house that they were using.
Mm-hmm.
They used the McDade Mall, which is a mall right near where I grew up. It has since been torn down, but because the movie's set in I can't.
Like the 70s.
It's set in like the 70s, and my hometown's very 70s still.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they shot at like the McDade Mall and all these places. And my dad was a huge Lord of the Rings guy, and we're like, it's so exciting, Peter Jackson. And the movie comes out, gets like 20% on Rotten Tomatoes, and we don't see it. That's the end of the story.
I haven't seen it in a long time. Is it like a bad movie?
It's not good.
It does have the all-timer Ryan Gosling story. Stuart, do you know this?
No.
So Ryan Gosling is cast to play the bereaved father in The Lovely Bones of Saoirse Ronan, and Ryan Gosling reads the script and thinks, this guy is so consumed by grief, he is overweight now. And so Ryan Gosling spends 2 months just eating drinking melted ice cream.
Yeah.
And he gets real chubby. Mm-hmm. And then he shows up, and Peter Jackson's like, what the fuck did you do? And he said, you should have asked me before you did. And fires him from the movie and recast him with Mark Wahlberg.
Wow.
Not good. He's not good in the movie.
Right.
There's this incredible.
I don't remember him being very good.
I have no stake in it whatsoever. It's not like I'm a defender of Lovely Bones. I just haven't seen it in a while. And I remember I probably watched it when I was a little, probably too young.
Oh, is that? I still think he
Oh
looks
my
good.
It's chubby.
I also don't remember Mark Wahlberg not being. I think he actually looks a little bit like Stanley Tucci in that movie though, because Stanley Tucci also is kind of on the chubbier side in that movie. I think he looks cute.
He looks fun. I like it. He looks so happy.
Had he just done
How
Dead
do
Man
I
Bones?
how do I handle this headline?
I was
Oh my God.
Jesus. Oh man.
I was trying to read of the production of this movie, but to go into Robin context corner here, we're coming off of Robin's Oscar win of Good Will Hunting. This is released, I think, exactly a year after Good Will Hunting comes out.
So this is his follow up to The Win.
Yeah, exactly. But I was trying to see where, logistically speaking, how this kind of landed in Robin's lap and who was trying to get him on. The only thing I could really find was that Robin decided he wanted to do this movie because I guess he was like, well, I never really did a movie about religion before. And that was kind of it. Mm. That's all I was really able to find in terms of his motivation for wanting to be in the movie.
He literally plays a quirky doctor in it, though.
Exactly.
He's kind of quirky. I mean, not so, but
yeah, he is. I know we have Patch Adams coming down the pike.
We do.
Is that
I
after
think
this?
we have had enough Robin as quirky doctor. I think it's happened several times already.
But but I think this is the last episode before we go into our second retrospective, hinting at us basically making the claim of we're at an end of an era here for Robin.
This is close to the end.
This is the end of this era.
This is the end of this era.
Because I feel this
is
is the beginning of it.
I had been questioning this, but I
was thinking about this as sort of him entering sort of a more serious 2000s period.
Right.
Where he does this.
I'm going to read you.
Read them off.
I'm going to read you.
It's
Good Will Hunting.
Real quick. Prior to this, basically, it's this run where he's getting a bunch of Oscar nominations while doing family comedies. He wins the Oscar for Good Will Hunting. And this is the immediate follow-up to that. And after this, he makes a marked shift in his career, and basically none of them work.
Yeah.
They all either flop or get bad reviews. It's this, Bicentennial Man,
Patch Adams, Jacob the Liar,
1
hour photo.
It becomes this he is off the top of the mountain. But then, immediately after this.
But then isn't this the beginning of his post-win era of serious flops?
Yes, that's more or less what we're saying.
So this isn't the end. This is the beginning.
This is the end of
because this is this is his reaction to the win, but it's the reaction of this movie that really catapults him into okay, what dreams may come where I play
crazy movie.
Right.
Who's on this fucking movie?
Matt Abalda.
God damn it.
What dreams may come doesn't work, and it my performance as a guy who dies and goes into the afterlife and tries to find his wife who committed suicide doesn't work. So what do I try to do next? I want to play a serial killer.
I think the key is this film's before he wins the Oscar. I think that's the key to this.
I would say this period, and maybe you guys take this for your perspective, this kind of ends with Insomnia. And then he enters the mid 2010s, you know, sort of. I would call this his lost era, which is
I have been thinking about
robots,
this like a lot.
You know, RV, Man of the Year, which is kind of a weird, you know.
I really think because
lots of voiceover stuff.
I was looking at like the list here of like from What Dreams May Come, Patch Adams, Jacob the Liar, Bicentennial Man, AI, 1 Hour Photo, even like Death to Smoochie, and like that run just completely torpedoes like. Because they're all like movies where he thinks he's like, how do I want to phrase it? It's like, I won my Oscar. I proved myself. Now it's time to like take the risks I didn't think was worth taking because I hadn't quite proved myself yet.
Yeah. This is like,
and I think
it's a continuous flop era. It's just the flops go from being like highbrow to lowbrow.
Yeah.
But they remain flops the whole time.
Yeah.
Like even Insomnia, like if you go up to someone and say, like list the Chris Nolan movies. Insomnia is typically the last one someone's going to think of.
Yeah.
The Chris Nolan movies?
Like,
that or Following. Yeah.
Well, discounting Following.
Sure.
I think people are going to think of Insomnia last. It's the only one of his movies that doesn't have a 4K. That is how I'm ranking this. Like it's the only one that people have.
Following have a 4K? Maybe.
Following
his feature debut?
No, Following does not have a 4K. So he has 2 movies that don't have a 4K.
A24 or somebody will put it out. I don't know.
The other reason why I think What Dreams May Come is a great place to have it being like the last one before the next era is because like we got to remember at like in 1997 when this movie came out, like this movie got like it didn't make any money, like it bombed in the box office.
This movie?
Like it didn't completely bomb, but it didn't make over its budget. But like the movie itself and Robin, like mixed to softly positive reviews is what this movie gets. Like Gene Siskel and Roger Ebert both like gave this like 2 thumbs up and talked pretty well about this movie, mainly for its effects work. Not so much in terms of the plot, but this movie does kind of ride the coattails of being that like late 90s effects boom that sort of tapers off in the early 2000s. So like that's why I think like What Dreams May Come wasn't like a Robin's bad now. Like that's Patch Adams. Patch Adams comes out and it's like, well, Robin, you had your high moment, and now it's
the
like,
1-2 punch of Patch Adams and Jacob the Liar.
Yes,
which we're gonna talk about is kind of, it's like, do you know what Jacob the Liar is about? Jacob the Liar is about Robin Williams is in a concentration camp
as a Jew.
And he is telling rumors and stories within the ghetto to raise morale, but they're all not true because he's a liar. And this is the poster.
Okay.
That and Patch Adams are kind of like the...
Is that...
You're fucking
Jacob?
done. Jacob the Liar. It would be Jacob, but...
Jesus. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that and Patch Adams are why we're kind of starting that era. We're starting the era with those two because that's like you're kind of done. Like he still has a level of respect coming off of this.
He has like the Hollywood blockbuster capital still left, but he doesn't really have the acclaimed thespian capital anymore. I think that's the key in this region because again, like he is still like. He's still got the name Robin Williams going for him. Yeah. And like the early 2000s.
Very much working for
that part never really goes away, truly. Like even when he's doing like
Night at the Museum, The Secret of the Tomb.
Yeah, like even when he's doing those movies and even when he's doing like what was that one TV show he did for a brief period of time? It was like right before he died. I don't even remember. But
like a TV show?
Yeah, he did a couple TV shows like before he died.
I know he did appearances in TV shows. I didn't know he like did a TV show.
There was like a TV show he was like starring in, but it got canceled after one season. But like
the crazy ones.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, the crazy ones. All that to say, like Robin's like Hollywood fame, comedy capital, that like he still has some left after like the series of flops, but I would say like his name truly never goes away. But even then, like the blockbuster capital definitely goes down. Now he's not. When we get to like the 2005 to 2010 to right before he dies,
we do
it's
Old
like,
Dogs again.
Well, it's like then at that point, it's like it used to be Robin would be spearheading a blockbuster comedy, and then when we get to like I can't believe I'm going straight to this one, but like robots, like he's not even the star robot in Robots. He's a supporting robot.
He starts playing supporting characters.
In like comedies. So it's like that just to show like the trajectory of where he's kind of heading. But What Dreams May Come. It was
Oscar winning.
It does win.
I'm looking at the list right now of visual effects Oscars, and it just being in the middle of like Independence Day, 96, Titanic, What Dreams May Come, The Matrix, Gladiator, Lord of the Rings, Lord of the Rings.
No,
Spider-Man, King Kong.
This is
and it's just it being in there is kind of funny.
It's a little
in
funny.
That run of.
It's funny because like it just feels so not of a piece with those. Tone wise,
cool. I mean, it's like a cool win.
Yeah,
you know, even though I don't think that it actually looks that good.
I really like the look of this movie. I will say, I don't think that this movie has much going for it, but I am very into the look.
All of the heaven stuff is great. The hell stuff, I wasn't that big into.
This is like the type of movie that I would buy a 4K of.
I told you
and
this,
put it on with low volume, just to like kind of have play.
See it. Yeah. Yeah,
we'll get into the stuff in hell later.
Because if I were scrolling like on a TV channel, if I still had cable, and I came across like a independent scene of this movie, I would be like, "This looks incredible! Why have I never heard about this?"
Dalmatian just jumping, landing on him in the paint. Jeff's like, "What? What the fuck?"
But this is based off of a book written by Richard Matheson that came out in 1978. Which was a lot more into the spiritualness than this movie is. The novel that this movie is based off of goes much deeper into the whole like astral projection, seances. That's where it's like the Wicca stuff kind of gets a little bit more.
I'm obsessed with the differences from the novel section on the Wikipedia for this movie.
Yep, that's where I'm reading from.
In the novel, there are far more references to theosophical, New Age, and paranormal beliefs. The author, Richard Matheson, claims in an introductory note that only the characters are fictional and that everything else is based on real research.
Yeah.
The book concludes an extensive bibliography. Story elements that do not show up in the film include astral projection, telepathy, a seance, and the term Summerland, a name for a simplified heaven in theosophy.
That's hilarious.
And for heaven in general in religions such as Wicca.
That's so funny. I'm reading this book right now, George Saunders, Lincoln and the Bardo. I told you I'm in sort of my Lincoln phase
in your
right
Lincoln
now.
era.
And that book is written from the point of view of Abraham Lincoln in this graveyard, entering the Bardo to sort of like look for his son who's just passed away. It's set over the course of one night and has this like chorus of voices who like speak to him. But everything that happens in the book from Lincoln's point of view, it's cited, like it's sources where he's pulling from. So it's like this actually happened to Lincoln, and it's referenced in this historical text here. And so he'll break up his prose with citations from this actually happened, and then throw in like
creative spookiness,
spooky, occult sort of like Lincoln sort of like supernatural stuff. And the combination of those two is a really fun. I don't know. So
we haven't had the opportunity. How good is Lincoln?
Lincoln fucking rules, dude.
He watched Lincoln for the first time a week ago.
Oh, really?
He messaged me about it at like 11 p.m. and knew that I was asleep because I didn't respond within 5 seconds.
Yeah, because Jeff didn't. Maybe allegedly didn't send the PR to Noemi. and Savannah is like, and Noemi's texting me and Savannah like, can we wake Jeff up? Like, but you didn't send me the PR.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, I just texted Jeff about Lincoln 5 minutes ago and I haven't gotten a response. He is knocked the fuck out.
Oh my God.
It's true.
That's hilarious.
I'm sure you sent the PR and she didn't know where you sent it.
It got stuck in like the outbox.
I know you did send it.
Do you guys work on a TV show or something?
But Lincoln is so good. This movie does not have Lincoln in it. This movie should have. Here's the thing about this movie. This movie should have a bunch of famous people walking around in heaven.
Yes.
Like,
I 1,000% agree.
I don't know if this is the correct tone for this movie.
It has Peter Pan in it. Did you see Peter Pan?
And Mary Poppins.
Yep.
Wait.
Well, Peter Pan I saw. I didn't see Mary Poppins.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Peter Pan is like flying around in heaven.
It's all like far background silhouettes.
He's like doing a weird like Peter Pan-esque fly.
I noticed all like the
technically
flying
everybody's
people, obviously,
flying,
but Peter Pan and Mary Poppins.
You noticed the flying people?
Like there's Mary. Like I just was like they're flying people. I didn't think they were Peter Pan.
Yeah, it's all like just deep background, and it's easy to miss because everybody's flying in the fucking background.
Heaven looks like so annoying. It's just a bunch of people doing spins. I'm like, you guys are here forever and you're just still doing spins?
There's got to be something better to do.
You're just like, whoa.
It is a philosophical thing of like how good can heaven be if it is eternity?
Oh, exactly.
It's like no matter how good you think heaven's gonna be, like just think of your favorite thing you can do on earth right now. What's your perfect day? Could you do that every day forever? Not like 90 years and you die of old age. No, like forever.
That's why they all go and get reincarnated.
Right, that's the thing. And then the whole reincarnation bit of like
why it doesn't
past
make any
lives
fucking
and
sense
bullshit.
that there's like trackers who know how to get to hell in heaven.
Yeah.
This movie dropping
is their heaven knowing how to get to hell? Is that what? That's why that's their occupation. It doesn't make any fucking sense.
Max von Sydow just dropping in the lore of like, I'm a tracker. I track souls in hell.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait a minute.
It's a crazy,
We're in a different movie.
It's a crazy thing to drop.
And also, I'm your friend.
Yeah.
Also, you used to know me.
I'm the real Albert.
He needs to be someone like that we're aware of. The way the reveal of who Max von Sydow is, hey, you know the character your son was pretending to be, who you've never actually been introduced to in the movie. I'm the real one, but I look like Max von Sydow.
Yeah. Your son is black. He's me.
And I'm white.
And I am old white man now, but I am the black man that your son actually is pretending to be while we're in heaven.
It is so contrived.
Why?
There's no reason for
it. Why? Like, I was trying to like, because Angelica walked in,
very
like
similar to Soul in that way, the Pixar movie Soul.
Soul, like
ish, not really. In that it's just like playing with like,
it's playing with Soul actually makes sense for the most part. Soul basically works. In a way this movie doesn't
need to make sense the way it makes sense.
Yes.
Its problem is that it makes sense in a way that's like
Soul
not that fun to watch.
Soul has the Pixar thing of it almost makes too much sense. It's like,
just
they haven't actually thought it all out.
Just because it makes sense doesn't mean we have to do it that way. Soul. I don't know.
Like Angelica walked in like halfway through this movie, and it was when like it was that scene when Cuba Gooding Jr. is like, it's like when Robin Williams is like, your mom's not in there, to Cuba Gooding Jr. And she's like, what the fuck? And it's like, yeah, apparently that's actually his son that's taking on the appearance of an old doctor that he knew. You don't understand this if you saw the scene prior where he finds this like Asian lady who turns out to be his young daughter, who is now taking the form of this Asian woman for some reason.
Should we tell Alcinitis what this movie's about, just so he has some context about what we're talking about? Hi, okay. Al. How are you? Whenever we get like this, I'm always like, what is Al thinking about? Al probably didn't watch What Dreams May Come, but he's going to listen to this episode.
I think about Al and I think about Glenn. I think about Glenn who's listening to this.
Let's tell Al what the movie's about real quick.
Okay, Al, Glenn,
I don't want to derail
let's tell you about this movie.
So the 1998 motion picture, What Dreams May Come, it's about Robin Williams playing a pediatrician named Chris Nielsen. His pediatrician abilities have no bearing on the movie. He is just a doctor so that Robin Williams can play a quirky doctor.
Being a pediatrician and his wife being an art dealer is such a 90s
Yeah, it's
thing.
such a very obvious, like it plays no bearing besides the fact that they wanted to look painterly and they want to say he is good with kids.
Exactly. It's very
or
that he's better with other kids than he was with his own kids, even though like that's like the idea,
but the movie never does anything.
It never does anything with that.
It's a good idea, to be clear, but pediatrician Chris Nielsen, we are giving like kind of the Spark Notes version of his marriage with Annie, who's
we've got to talk about the opening scene.
I'm just gonna quickly give the movie is about.
Sure.
Played by Annabella Sciorra.
It's so funny.
You follow their life. Unfortunately, their kids die in a car crash, and they mourn together. And then he dies in a car crash, wakes up in heaven, where he is led by the spectral form of Cuba Gooding Jr.
Yeah. Except it takes him like 15 minutes from when he dies to get to heaven.
Yeah.
He does like some soul searching before winding up in heaven. It's really weirdly paced.
But eventually, like, he has to go on a quest to hell to rescue his wife's soul because she commits suicide and is damned to hell for all eternity. And that is mostly what the movie is about, is his quest to go from heaven to hell to rescue his wife.
Yeah.
We can now resume talking.
That's what the movie's about. Yeah.
What do you guys think about the whole philosophy that like people who commit suicide are damned to hell. Because this movie like is fury. Like I could see the screenwriter and be like, I gotta make sure this makes sense so it doesn't sound as like bad as it is.
The thing is like that is like a real philosophy in a lot of Christian religion.
That's what I'm saying.
And
it's
so,
like
the movie's use of it. The second they mention it, I'm like, okay, I am interested to see what the spin is.
Yeah.
Because if the whole idea of this movie is, well, that's fucked up, I don't believe that. That is wrong. I'm going to fix that. Then like you're playing with something interesting there.
Yeah.
The movie never really commits to that though. It's very much just Robin being like, I don't think my wife deserves to be there. Yeah. And then he goes and he gets her out. Because the movie never really tries to make the judgment, probably because it was made in the 90s in the midst of like the moral panic, like a right-wing moral panic. So they don't want to directly like insult Christian beliefs. So they're just like, well, I'll get my wife out. But like, he never said, like, there's never a scene where he's explicitly like, suicide victims shouldn't be in hell. This is wrong. Because,
well, they like the scene that I'm referring to, in which like I can feel like the screenwriter is like sweating over making sure this makes sense, is like Robin Williams immediately, like when they find out that like, oh, your wife is in hell because she killed herself. And he's like, that's fucked up. Yeah. And he's like, no, but you need to understand. It's like people who commit suicide are in pain. Like they shouldn't have to go to hell. Like this is like the common philosophical debate that's been going on for thousands of years and all blah, blah, blah. But anyway, but Cuba Gooding Jr. says, no, you don't understand. It's like, it's not a matter of whether what they did was right or wrong. It's like their mental psyche. Yeah. Like, you know, when you die and you wake up in heaven, that's because like your imagination
is who you are.
Your imagination is filling up the space from when you were last alive.
Yeah.
And those people who left this world in a great amount of pain are just filling up their personal, because you could call it personal heaven, personal hell, but it's just a personal bubble.
Johnny Cash told me about a personal Jesus.
Right.
Because this movie isn't really like she commits suicide, she goes to hell. It's not really like doing like purgatory, because there is sort of like I don't even know where it predates to, but this idea of like if you commit suicide and if someone you know commits suicide, they go to purgatory, and then you, through your actions or amount of prayer, can grant them access back into the kingdom of heaven.
Yeah.
This is
like an older sort of like, you know, Catholic sort of like,
I was like in my Catholic upbringing
idea of like suicide and purgatory and like, so in that sense, the movie is like, you can do your own personal.
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel like he gives anything as
because they say like, no one has ever gotten someone back from hell before.
Pretty fucking pretty fucking easy to me.
no one has really gotten anybody back for like, well, because the movie is painstakingly trying to be like we don't want to commit to putting on the screen like this philosophical idea that's been highly debated. So rather than
this movie wants to be about religion without being about religion,
right? So rather than like go like
it likes
touch
the
that,
window dressing of it all. It likes that, you know. Yeah,
it's like rather than touch that whole thing with a 10-foot pole, we're just gonna say that because she killed herself, it's the manner of which her mental health was in which she killed herself, which populates the bubble that she exists in. That's why she's in like a mental hell. It's not because killing herself is good or bad. It's just purely because of your mental status of which you entered into the afterlife that populates it.
Yeah.
Like you died, you were trying to help somebody, so you popped into like this heaven or whatever, and that's what happens. And it's like, I'm watching this,
if you were in a car crash like he is ish, and he's like really depressed because of his kids and he's sad, then does that mean you go to hell because you're sad when you died?
Well, it's the thing. It's like that is partly the problem of like most afterlife religious text like movies is the moment you enter that, like you have to make the judgment call. You have to write
then
in your movie.
Like heaven is just like chemicals in your brain that last as you die. It's just sort of like what is.
It's
left
the ultimate
there
DMT trip that goes on forever, right? Well, like that's my ultimate like thing that I just always have against like these afterlife like religious movies is you always have to write in your screenplay, whether you want to or not, or consciously or subconsciously, a moral judgment character.
Yeah,
and that's where like people get like either commit to it or don't. Either say, in my movie, killing yourself is bad. Your wife killed herself. She's in hell. End of story. Either commit to it or don't. Not to say like whether you agree with it or not, but like you have to decide.
It's why like the successful afterlife movies are the ones that aren't trying to play as like a deathly serious like.
Yes.
It's like
Mostly comedies.
The movies where you appear and there are a bunch of people wearing wings. And they're like, we're going to have a court case to decide if you go to heaven or hell.
Right.
That stuff always hits.
It's
It always
angels
works.
carrying briefcases.
Yeah.
Like right. You're absolutely right. Like that's why I'm like, when I saw that scene, I'm like, I can feel this movie sweating over this like decision
It also
it's trying
works
to make.
if you're going with if you're just telling the story of like Orpheus and Eurydice, if you're just using like ancient like myth, that usually works because that's a like conception of the afterlife so far removed from our own.
Right. What I wanted to say is like so if blah 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 whatever, like whether she killed herself is good or bad, we don't care about that. It's just a manner of which blah blah. She's in hell. Okay, well, I want to go get my wife. Well, you can't. Why? Because no one who's committed suicide and gone to hell has ever come back. Well, I'm still gonna go. Okay. And then it's like, but
one of my least favorite like complaints to give about a movie is to be like, well, isn't that a coincidence or so crazy that this person is the one who mentioned him? Like, that's why the movie is being made about this person because they're the one who succeeded.
Oh, so like that's why we tell stories.
Yeah, that's
why
why
it's like, can you believe that coincidence?
Yeah.
You know, like if you tell like a story that happened in your life like that, it's always because of like, can you believe that like
that
those
happened?
two things happened.
That's why we tell stories. And so I'm never.
It's about making it satisfying, and it's not satisfying.
But I think you're heading to a
complaint.
however.
It's my least favorite complaint to have about.
You are getting to a however.
But I am getting to a however, which is if he's gonna be the first person to ever do it, it should
the
be
year of our Lord,
ordeal.
1998.
He has no difficulty accomplishing this. He gets rejected once. He walks back in, says 3 different things, and suddenly they're back in heaven.
Or it should at least telegraph. I don't want to get to the end of the movie because maybe let's just.
I think we can.
We
can just kind of
because I guess his only sacrifice that he makes. I'm like falling asleep while I'm watching the end of the movie. Is that his wife can't get to heaven? She's not ready for it yet.
So he commits he'll stay in hell with her.
She gets reincarnated, and so does he.
At the very end.
After they've ascended to heaven.
But she doesn't go to heaven.
She does.
She gets to go to heaven?
Yeah.
Because basically he goes
There's
down.
an alternate ending, I think.
There's an alternate.
There is an alternate ending.
There is an alternate ending.
I just remember a different ending. Maybe I don't know if I watched that. It was on the VHS.
He like
I just remember
because like
it.
he goes to hell and the thing he does different is he commits, I will stay in hell with you because I love you so much. Mm-hmm. I will just stay here with you.
Sure.
And because of that like selfless act, they both arrive in heaven. I'm like, okay, nice idea. You're telling me no one has ever tried that before.
In the year of our Lord, 1997, human beings have been on the earth.
I hate being the person to have this complaint, but it should have been a little more of an ordeal for him.
My question,
to get out of there.
to tag along on that point, my question I was asking is like, so if somebody killed themselves, they're just missing out on a loved one who loves them so much to pull them into heaven.
Yeah.
So all of those people who are in hell forever, what they didn't do right is they didn't have a loved one go to hell and get them back. And so now I'm like, but wait a minute.
Or it could literally just be like, people have tried.
Yeah.
Lots of people have tried. Because he doesn't even say that.
Yeah.
It's like lots of people have tried. And heaven and hell is a place almost designed to trick you.
Yes.
You know? It wants to keep you there. It's going to, at every turn, stop you from getting what you want.
There's no menace to hell.
All you have to do is say that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
It would have been, there's no menace to hell in this movie. It is a like visually menacing.
Visually menacing?
It's visually menacing. But Cuba Gooding Jr. ever says at one point, it's like, yeah, what's the other thing to do? Kill you?
Yeah.
You're already dead. And so they go to hell, and there's like a bunch of like Nazis and like
you can lose your mind.
Like
that's one.
Like
you can
barbarians running around, but they don't do anything.
You can cut this out of the episode if you want, because this is the conversation I had with my uncle like 12 years ago. He either worked on this movie or knew someone who worked on this movie. We were talking about this movie because I was just talking about movies he'd worked on in his career. Those people who like are on the beach when he gets out of the water in the movie are real cancer patients. That they like,
holy shit.
Yeah, that they like the director wanted. Maybe this is I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But
I don't think there's anything wrong.
But
no.
that he wanted them to look like that, and so they pulled sick people like out of hospitals and booked them as background for this and like put them on the beach so they looked like, as
cancer patients,
like as decrepit and sort of malnourished as they are.
It's interesting choice.
Some of them in the water don't look that way, but when they get out onto the beach and they're just lying on the ground, those people look a lot more deathly.
Is the water purgatory?
Sorry.
The water. See, this is the stuff.
Is like because the elevator takes them into hell. They cross through Cerberus, the ship, and they go down into hell proper. They're in the suburb
it's like the
hell.
river Styx.
Which is sort of not hell in sort of myth, but it's more of a passageway.
It's the passageway to hell.
Yeah.
But the thing is, there's all these bodies floating in the water, and they capsize the boat. I'm like, oh, so they're gonna there's gonna be conflict, and then they just wash up on the shore.
I don't think he's in hell really until he's in the house.
Yes,
with her. That's hell.
Yeah,
because even Cerberus and that field of people and faces,
ships.
and but even just like the sea of faces is because hell is your own internal sort of like where you at most feel alone and isolated, and he's stepping on other people who are just cresting up out of their hell, like icebergs kind of,
because that's when he falls
and
through.
That's when he falls through when he gets to her. And
sorry, it was just as we talked about like the oceans and the waters, I immediately just thought of
we're just
it's the Pirates of the Caribbean one.
We are nothing but ghosts to them.
Why are we just watching this scene?
Because it's like when they're sailing through and there's all these bodies in the water, and it was just the first thing I just thought of was like, oh yeah, it's like purgatory. It's like this whole thing of like people on their way
scene is incredible.
to the afterlife.
This movie is so good.
But yeah, that was just like
we watched that movie.
Do you have to pay for that?
No.
Okay.
Fair use criticism. Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End, pretty good. There, you know what? I said criticism. No more.
Good movie.
One thing I wanted to mention to go back to like the hell menace of it all. There is an interesting like, again, because I was raised Catholic and went through like 8 years of private Catholic school, was something that I actually like thought was interesting is like you are in hell because it's a choice you made to go to hell. Basically, like it's the idea that like people in hell are like actively in hell. I don't know. I'm butchering the way I thought about this, but there was something like interesting to the idea that like you're not in hell because somebody deemed you were bad and threw you into a pit of fire. It was more like you were presented with one door, and one door was like a relationship with God, and one door was like no relationship with God, and you decided no relationship. So it was like more presented as the idea of like you made this ultimate choice to like not. I'm butchering this whole thing, but it was just the interesting thought of the people in hell are. But that's the problem with the movie is because it doesn't commit to any one philosophy, and like
this guy's not very smart.
Yeah,
and I haven't read the Richard Matheson. I don't know.
That like based on what I've read so far about the book, it seems like it would almost get like more bogged down into the whole spiritual reality.
Richard Matheson lose? Is this like some sort of like a
autobiographical ish?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Is it?
I don't know.
Maybe.
Well, I feel like the book it's much broader, but it actually invests in all the topics. The book also, he doesn't have kids, or the kids aren't dead.
Oh, it's the same guy who wrote I Am Legend.
Yeah.
And The Last Man on Earth.
And also the Omega Man. I Am Legend, the Omega Man. But like the book feels like it's so much more actually interested in the concepts of the
topics,
afterlife.
yeah.
So it actually will go into them.
This movie is more interested in like the vibes.
It's interested in the vibes, and it's interested in Robin crying and looking at the camera.
Can we talk about the opening of the movie? It's so funny.
Yes, we can. I think we can kind of go through it.
I mean,
when they first meet, like in Italy.
They're like in Italy on their own like two little boats, and you immediately can't take this movie seriously. And he's doing bits, and my favorite part of the whole movie
is the wig.
Is his wig, but also it's like when like they've parted, their ships have sort of parted ways, and it slows down. There's so much weird slow motion in this movie, but it goes slow motion.
Yeah.
And he waves to her, and it's like almost like a freeze frame, and his title card, Robin Williams, pops up.
Yeah.
And then reverse shot onto her, and she slows down, and then because he's second billed, Cuba Gooding Jr.'s name pops up next to her face, and it's like so funny. I don't know why. I thought that was.
I will wait
hilarious.
until he appears, but there's a lot of we gotta get into it. Okay.
We're getting junior of it all.
We got to get into that, but let's get to him in the movie. Let's get to what he's doing.
Right now?
So they meet in Italy. They fall in love. Spoiler alert, they're soulmates.
There's a really funny, and then it just kind of like jumps 16 years.
They have 2 kids. They're married.
She has so many different hairstyles in this movie.
She does.
And every scene, her hair is different. And then by the time she's an art dealer, she's got this sort of like fuck ass, like Edna Mode bob. Sort of like, oh, I'm arty now. Like she was it. Like when she's younger, her hair is like long and flowing. And
You know, like
I like when she goes crazy and they're like, yeah, she cut her hair.
this movie doesn't really have like scenes in it so much, like for the first
it has
like,
occurrences.
it has like like things that happen, and it keeps like jumping forward in time for the first sort of like 25 minutes, and then his like his children die.
We are introduced to his children and kind of go through them so quick.
So quick.
It's like, hey, here are his kids. He and his daughter are fine. He and his son have a complicated relationship.
And it's about his grades.
Yeah, it's about his grades.
he and his son have a complicated relationship.
Because he's a doctor.
I didn't catch that. I didn't catch that at all.
Because you seriously didn't catch that they had to come?
Not at the beginning of the movie.
He's like, you gotta fucking get your homework done, man.
I just thought that was regular bullshit dialogue.
And then it cuts, but it cuts back to the trees, and that it's raining, and he's like, I'm gonna pull you out of school. Your school's too hard for you, and that's fine. I still love you. And his son's like,
He'll never be as good as you.
Take me out of this school. This school's my whole life.
I picked up on all that.
This
like,
school is my whole life. Dad, you don't understand me, Dad.
Like at
He's
the end of the
No
movie.
idea, dude.
But anyway, he sends him off to school, and then we cut to 2 caskets.
And it's like, that was the last time Cassie and I ever saw them. It's like, Jesus Christ.
If you think that we're making a joke there, no, we are not. That's
And that was
actually
the
what
last
happens.
time Cassie and I ever saw them. That's my rub.
It's so ridiculous.
It's ridiculous, and we cut to 2 caskets.
And they are crying at the funeral.
Yeah.
And then, like, the movie, like,
Their caskets are actually really nice.
they're good caskets.
I thought about
They
that
put
when
good
I
money
saw
into
them.
it.
I was like, that's the casket. If I was
They're
to have
wealthy.
a casket,
Right?
they are he's a pediatrician, and she's a renowned art dealer, fixer, artist, art person. She's an art person.
But now,
Did you
here's-
see her, Bob?
Here's where kind of like
You see your Bob.
That's a fuck ass Bob.
this movie doles out information about like their life together so sporadically that basically you're just like you're with them, and she's like calls him and is like, I'm having another breakdown. He's like, oh, I'll talk you through, and he talks her through it, and they're both fine. And he goes home and they see each other, and then he drives somewhere, and that's when he gets into his car accident. Because like the movie skims through them getting over their child's death so quick because it wants to have the piecemeal reveal throughout the movie.
Yeah.
That doesn't work.
No.
Do you think it works if you don't meet the kids in the beginning?
I think it
I'm not trying to fix this movie.
I think it you either have to do that where you don't meet the kids and you're understanding throughout the course of the movie that the two of them were trying to get over the loss of their children together. Like there has to be that reveal, or you have to take all of that stuff and put it at the beginning. You got to do the fucking Andrew Stanton Finding Nemo thing where it's like, we put it at the beginning so you understand these people throughout their story.
That's kind of the version that it is, even though they just don't do it.
They-
That's why it's linear like that
Yeah.
in a very messy way. Whereas if you just start the movie with him in the car and he's driving in the
Yeah.
rain and it's this big like car crash
Yeah.
set piece that starts the movie.
He dies.
And then he
yeah.
dies, goes to heaven, wakes up, and is like, "What the fuck?"
But it's like the unhappy middle ground where it's giving you a little bit at the beginning, but then withholding the important information for the rest of the runtime, which is why were he and his son why were they arguing with each other? What does the double D anniversary mean? He and his wife were going to get divorced, and they didn't, and that's why their bond is so strong. Like it waits to reveal all that, where you either have to give us all that at the beginning, or like you're saying, just start the movie with the crash, and then you reveal the entire context of the
because the
relationship.
movie's so committed to this sort of like astral, like
Yeah.
we're gonna go back through your life kind
Yeah.
of thing while you're here. Just start with him going to heaven.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's kind of an interesting way to start the movie.
Because it never even like commits to we're gonna go through your life in heaven. he'll just like see something be like, oh, I'm having a flashback. And then it cuts to a flashback. Like you kind of want to just be like, oh, well, through this door is another important memory for you. You want that bullshit. Where he can like actually interact with his memories. Because when it's just him being like, oh, look, my son. And then it's like, and you get like the little fucking vignette. Yeah. And it's him and his son leaning up against a tree. And he's like, you got to get those grades up or we're pulling you out of school, son. You want him to be able to interact with these memories. You don't want him to just like stop and watch them happen.
Because seemingly, like, what are the activities in heaven?
None. You run around with your dog.
Yeah, you fly, you run around with your dog, and you talk to other dead people. But like otherwise, it's like you sit in a nice house next to beautiful scenery. Hey, that sounds great for a weekend. Like you're talking about eternity. Like that's the thing I 100% agree with. Is like you're painting this picture of like an afterlife that you have to be comfortable spending possibly an eternity. And yeah. I know there's a whole reincarnation bullshit and all that stuff. Like, yeah, cool. But like, at least convince us that someone could spend an eternity here. Because like 10 minutes of the movie, I'm like, yeah, I'd get bored of this pretty quickly.
I think he's trying to sort of do like, and it's wrong, but like it just doesn't work. Is like an illogical view of heaven to sort of like create a sense of mystery about it. A sense of like, there is no one way this could happen.
Yeah.
You could be reincarnated. You could just go to the library in here that we have, or float around, or go on your own little spiritual quest. You know, like there's not a thing.
Do you know what movie?
But like
this conception of the afterlife is almost like, in a weird way, exactly the same as.
What?
It's a movie the three of us have covered on this show before. This is like the same afterlife as Monkey Bone in a weird way. It's over.
How?
Like it's because it's like there's the layers of it. There's the upper layer, the bottom layer. The upper layer doesn't make any sense. Everybody has these strange jobs. There are trackers that will bring you to the lower levels of hell. You don't understand how the logic of this afterlife works. Now they're very different in vibe, tone, all that. But it's the exact same problems that are pervasive in Monkey Bone are the exact same problems that are pervasive in What Dreams May Come in trying to understand the afterlife.
You know what movie this is also kind of similar to?
What?
A movie we're going to talk about coming up soon.
A little bit of AI.
Think about it.
It's got a little.
Just think about
AI
it.
is just like the best.
Think
movie
about
ever
sort of
so.
like that. Sort of like I need to find this person to prove my love to them.
Yes.
To find out if that love is true.
Yeah.
You know. Like, if I can get to her, that means I love her.
Yes.
And if I love her, that means I'm real.
Yes.
I'm going to start crying.
To that point,
AI is going to be the Stuart, that's going to be the movie where all three of us are weeping on
I'm gonna
mic.
bawl my fucking eyes out.
We have to bring Angelica in as like the fourth guest to run the show.
She'll be weepy. No, she'll be weepy too. No, like something that like I think as you were talking about that, Mark, it brought to my mind. It's like personal opinion here, but this movie hurts that he is the best husband ever from minute one.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
100%.
Because
that's what I'm saying. Like
the thing is, you just said it's like
if you're going to start the movie with their backstory,
search for the person that you love to prove that you love them. It's like, what the fuck does he have to prove? Like,
if you're like gonna start the movie with like playing out their backstory, you need to understand that there was conflict, that they were having some problems, because as the movie starts. Before he dies, the only instance of that you have is her calling him and saying, I'm having a meltdown. And he talks her through like a fucking champ.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, he's the best husband ever.
And D-Day. Double D-Day. Double D-Day. Which, like, the reveal of which, I wanted to vomit. I was like, this is so stupid. What do you guys think of Double D-Day?
I missed it. I was making coffee.
I didn't know that. You're telling me now for the first time.
No, like honestly, I caught the Double D-Day. I think when I was watching it at the beginning, I think you're like, is Double D-Day like the death of their kids?
That's what I thought. I was
is
like,
it Double D-Day because they lost two kids?
I'm like, that's a little fucked up.
I thought that was fucked up.
Two deaths.
The movie takes way too long to fill in that gap because I'm thinking this whole time.
You are thinking that.
I'm like, it's Double D-Day, like Double D, 2 Ds, 2 deaths, the boys.
Boy and girl.
Boy and girl, right. Yep.
the one androgynous daughter.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's just I don't know. She's cute though. I mean, it's a really weird reveal. I mean, are we gonna get into the flight attendant thing?
Bro.
Or no?
This is when the movie.
It's like how do you want to get into it? Like I don't know.
Well, first, like when he dies and he wakes up in like the paint.
Yeah. No, first he wakes up.
Saw me? I'm 63, stretched out on a cardiac ward.
No, first he wakes up.
Also, like
Stuart, you are underselling.
Does that scene make sense if Cuba Gooding Jr. is his son?
No.
Does it make any sense?
Why would he know that? I mean, I guess the son would know how his dad's friend died. Like, because you're underselling. First, he wakes up as a ghost.
That's right.
And he's walking around and he's trying to like talk to his wife. And he manages to get through to her and has her write, "I still exist" on this piece of paper, probably driving her insane.
Probably why she fucking...
Yeah, it's probably why she kills herself, because she thinks like her husband's ghost is communing through her.
Man, a ghost story is so good. You should
Ghost
watch it
Story
today.
is really good.
Fuck.
And that scene's crazy. And he's being like haunted. He as a ghost is being haunted by like a super ghost.
Yeah.
Played by Cuba Gooding Jr., looking in fucking sane. He's just like, it's a golden like silhouette that Cuba's face will occasionally appear in.
You reminded me of Mother Nature from "I Could Never Be Your Woman." Kind of the way he's lit like that too, like he's glowing.
It
Sorry.
looks like
Movie no one's seen.
it looks like every character in "I Could Never Be Your Woman."
I know.
That movie looks absurd.
That movie looks insane. That movie looks like an episode of The Animatrix. Sorry.
I don't know what movie were you guys talking about?
That's a movie no one's seen.
It's like this like showbiz rom-com starring Michelle Pfeiffer and Paul Rudd.
Yeah,
and
maybe
like
pull up a frame.
it is shot like the most it's impossible to accurately describe the vibe of that movie because it doesn't make any fucking
It just
sense.
has like the worst color correction you've ever seen in your whole life, and like nothing I could find online will pull it up for you. It's worth watching alone for just like what the fuck
gumption
is
of
going
it.
on? How does it look like this?
So here's how every shot. Here's the shots of this movie.
Oh
This is
my
what this movie looks like.
God. What the fuck? Oh no. That's really disturbing.
Al, what we're showing Stuart is weird. Like that's how it looks.
Stuart, doesn't it look like the heaven sequences from this movie?
It looks like
It looks a little
fucking
bit like
Inland
that,
Empire is what it looks like.
But yes, he comes back as a ghost, and right away, like I think the first, he doesn't
This
see
is
his
sort of
funeral.
that 15-minute sort of like period before he gets to heaven.
Yeah,
where he's
right.
like-
There's
can
the wake.
skip most of this stuff, I feel like.
He sees his wife, and then he sees the funeral, and he hasn't quite like caught up to the whole like I'm dead kind of a thing. Zoinks. And then after the funeral, then he's with his wife alone in their house. He does the thing where he like makes her write something, which is kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
He's like, I still exist, and I'm never leaving
He's
you.
like writing red rum on the wall and blood.
Literally, it's like this would be like terrifying.
Yeah,
This
like,
movie feels like it was written by a fucking 8th grader. And
Well,
like
yeah.
not a smart one. There are smart 8th graders.
There are
It feels like
smart
it's written by
eighth
his son in this movie.
It's
A
just
dumb kid.
It's just like
like this. This movie could have spent way more time, and I'm glad it didn't.
Yeah, this
Let me
movie
be
is
clear.
instead written by Ronald Bass, who definitely did not write his own Wikipedia page. Ronald Bass, sometimes credited as Ron Bass, is an American screenwriter and film producer. He won an Academy Award for writing the screenplay for Barry Levinson's film Rain Man, and films that Bass is associated with are regularly nominated for multiple motion picture awards. His films have grossed over $2 billion.
what else did Ron Bass write?
This, Rain Man, The Joy Luck Club.
Okay,
I'm looking.
We're sort of like falling.
My
off a
best
cliff
friend's
here.
wedding, Stepmom, and that's basically like the last of his movies that I recognize.
Interesting.
It's not like he's like the most successful screenwriter. He's
No.
written some functional stuff, but
Yeah. I'm curious. I wonder if this is a novel or a short story.
it's a novel, full novel.
If there's anything there.
People tend to like the novel. I found like because I just typed in "What Dreams May Come" and like Google has that annoying like AI here, the top like 5 results we're going to open the pages for you at the top of the search results. And one of them was just a Reddit thread that was called "What Dreams May Come" is the worst movie I've ever seen. So of course I just clicked on, like, curious what this guy has to say. And I clicked on, and whatever he says is whatever. But the comments are incredible because it's people's being like, the book was great, movie was terrible. But I like this guy. The movie wasn't bad. You just don't appreciate good cinema because you and your girlfriend are too busy circle jerking each other to Marvel movies.
Sounds fun.
I can eat a page for hours.
Sorry.
That's crazy. But everybody in this thread is like, well, the books are pretty good, but
Just to prove that every movie is somebody's favorite movie.
Yeah.
Probably, right? I don't know.
every movie, somebody loves every movie out
This
there.
this movie in particular reads that like there's some like staunch defenders
yeah.
of this movie that exist. I'm sure.
If you can look past all the business and you're just looking to like have a cry, I could see how this movie works.
Well,
I
and
don't
even
know
for
how
like,
this movie has any emotional weight for anybody. How like anything
I like
lands or connects. Did Jeff text me this morning? He's like, "What part of the movie do you think Stuart cried in?" And I was like, I sent a joke reply, which is like flight. I sent Asian flight attendant daughter is when he cried. But even I don't think this
Stuart,
movie.
when did you cry?
This movie could not. You didn't cry at all, did you, Stuart? Did you cry?
When
in
did you
this fucking
cry?
Movie?
When did you cry?
Oh my God, Stuart!
When did you cry?
Stuart, is it the end? Is it?
When did you cry?
Is it in the house at the end?
When? Drop.
Stuart, is it?
Is it when
wait,
it's
wait,
when
wait.
Cuba Gooding Jr. is his son?
What?
think back to what you said earlier, Mark.
Is it the Asian flight attendant daughter?
Is it the Asian flight attendant daughter?
Okay.
Holy shit! Yeah! Stuart, there's one moment where like the Asian flight attendant is on the boat talking to Robin Williams, and then like she goes behind a leaf and it reveals his daughter's face. Is that when you cried?
Like, it got me a little bit. I didn't
These
full on
emotions are
cry.
real, and I don't want to make fun of you.
You can't.
No, I'll make fun of him.
Talk to me about it.
No, literally, it's just like here's the thing, guys. It's like sometimes like people could cry in undeserving moments of movies.
Oh, for sure. Have you seen We Live in Time? Florence Pugh, Andrew Garfield, an emotionally manipulative movie.
I have not seen that movie.
Sobbed.
I'm sure I would be
But
sobbing
I was like,
throughout the whole movie.
I like didn't like that I cried because I was
Yeah.
just like, oh fuck. It was so like I'm such a sap for that, and even though
Yeah.
I'm crying, I know like I don't think it's good.
Jeff is furiously typing something right now, and
Don't worry.
I'm waiting
Don't worry
for
about
it.
Okay.
But
Go,
Like,
talk.
I mean, no, just like the reveal of it being his daughter, and like, I guess like, we spent this dialogue scene being like, my what it's a stupid ass line of dialogue that she says. It's like, my dad told me that Asian women in particular were beautiful.
Yeah, that's what she says to him.
And it's like, that's kind of weird. And it's like, and that's why I like to present as an Asian woman. And then it's the
because
reveal
my
that
dad was horny for a flight attendant once, probably.
Yeah.
That's
He
the
like
thing.
that's the
took
thing.
a
That's the thing
flight,
to me.
Yeah.
and he was just like,
No.
wow,
Like,
these
It's like-
Asian flight attendants who are like
fucking hot.
He was just like, wow, that's a woman.
It could even have been something as he could have just said like, it could be anything but this, but it's so specifically that's like Asian women have a lot of grace and poise to them. My dad
It's
said to
so
me
fucked
once,
up.
and I'm just like, Robin got so horny over this flight attendant that his daughter was like, that is the woman I want
That's
to
what
be.
I
want to
be when I grow up.
It's fucked up. It's fucked up. It's very fucked up. You know what's more fucked up? That the movie plays like just like sobbing score over the reveal that it's his daughter and they embrace. And it's like, it's purely just the fact that it's like, because here's the thing. You're asking the question in the movie when he's in heaven, when is he going to see his kids?
Yeah.
And it's like, not in a billion years would I have guessed.
Yeah, this is how.
that this is how he meets
Okay.
one of them.
Does the movie
When do we suspect that Cuba is playing the son? When do we start having this thought?
Immediately after.
Immediately after.
Immediately
yes.
after.
It's like right after that. I'm like, they can't. There's no way.
No, I'm like, they've done it once and they'll do
Yeah.
it again. They've done it once, they'll do it again.
Movie has no shape. Truly, like I read a little too far ahead in the plot synopsis, so I kind of it kind of got ruined for me that I knew like, oh, what?
Does the movie make an attempt to explain why the kids feel a need to disguise themselves?
Yes.
It's like he's not ready to see us yet.
No, Max von Sydow offers the response, and it makes the loosest bit of sense that they would not look like themselves, but it does not make sense why they look like these people. It's basically like in heaven, everybody looks different, so that you can actually see them as they really are, instead of having preconceived notions.
Yeah,
is the idea.
So the moment that I found most affecting in this movie is when he's giving the eulogy at his children's speech, and he talks about the greatest man his son never met, which is the man he was going to grow up to be. My son is never going to meet that man, and I know that man would have been fucking awesome. And he explains that, and I'm like, that's actually a really touching speech.
Yeah,
and I think for maybe his idol was that older doctor, and so his son was like, my dad's hero is my hero. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
Here's the better version.
Doesn't make a lot of fucking sense.
The better version of that is just like you cast someone who's not Cuba Gooding Jr. and you just have like he has kind of like a guide in the afterlife, and then at the end it turns out, well, this is the man I would have grown up to be. It's a pleasure to get to meet you, Dad. You have the payoff for that. Very simple.
Very simple.
You have like, I don't know, who plays this role?
Who? If it's not Cuba?
Because I think Cuba's performance is kind of like devastating to this movie.
Oh, it's terrible.
I think like
it's okay. It's Cuba Gooding Jr.
It's Cuba Gooding Jr.
Yeah, I don't think he's doing anything out of his wheelhouse.
But he's playing way too treacly, which I don't think he's good at. Like Cuba, you kind of want you want him hyped up. It's like the whole thing about like the good Cuba Gooding Jr. performances.
I don't know.
It's Boys in the Hood. It's Jerry Maguire.
Don Cheadle plays an angel in what is it? Family Man? Close to this? Is it Family Man?
Yeah.
That's kind of a similar sort of thing.
Have you guys seen him in The People versus OJ?
No, I've never seen.
He's like, and I like it's a devastating compliment, but he's fucking amazing as OJ, because you talk about like that frantic yellingness and all that stuff, that he is channeling all of that in OJ, and it works. Works very, very well.
If he did it.
So yeah, anyway, we were just he makes his wife right, I still exist, and he's haunting his wife, right?
Yeah. He winds up and he eventually says, oh, he's like, I will never leave you, and then she's like, ah, and then he says, okay, I'm gonna leave you. It's that quick.
It literally runs a bit like this. Okay, never mind. I'm gonna get the fuck out of here.
And he does the weapons run down a hallway.
He does the weapons run
down a hallway into hell or heaven.
He follows the white light.
Yes, I was going to say, he's going to heaven because he's going down a bright tunnel.
And he winds up...
brother, this guy stinks!
And he winds up in heaven, which is a painting. Because it's like you create your own heaven off of your imagination. Your wife was a painter, and you're living in the world she painted.
Heaven is the food fight from Hook.
Yeah.
that's what his heaven is.
That's good. That's good. It is a food fight from Hook. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, is the whole movie just gonna look like this? I was like,
a lot of it.
I'm glad it didn't.
I'm like, that would be crazy.
You didn't like this, the painting, the wet painting, or you didn't like this?
I don't think. It's 1988. I don't think it's a successful. I mean, it looks like something.
In the short dose that I got,
it worked for you.
It worked, but I was watching it, I was like, if this goes on for any more, I'm not gonna like this.
It's why I wanted to watch the movie when I was a kid, because that image is on the back of the VHS that my grandparents had, and then I put that in, and I was so bored by this movie.
Yeah,
because the thing is, the painting is just it's an interstitial space between life and the ultimate version of heaven, because he's there for 10 minutes.
Yeah,
he meets Cuba, who teaches him how to exist in the painted heaven. And he's like, all right, you're ready to see it. And he like cuts a little hole in the wall, and it's the exact same place, but it just is CGI now instead of paint.
Oh, and we should, I know we've kind of said it, but we should just like firmly say it. Who is Cuba Gooding Jr. at this point in the movie?
His like doctor hero who we never met.
In the prime of his life. Because that guy was older when he died. And now he's in heaven, and he's like, I can be a younger version of myself here. Great.
Yeah. Okay. Just making sure we're firm on that. Then when it's the reveal that it's actually his son, and then Max von Sydow is actually that doctor, it opens up a lot of fucking questions. But yes, and then he carves the hole, punches it out, and then boom, we're at Glacier National Park.
Yes. No, it's that specific Hills Are Alive spot in Switzerland where they shoot this movie.
Yeah.
Really?
I don't know if it's actually the Hills Are Alive, but it looks just like it.
They actually did shoot this first in at Glacier.
Oh, wait, they shot in Glacier National Park? Really?
Yeah, they filmed it, and they filmed it in Montana, right?
Yeah, which is like my dream. My dream is to film a movie in Glacier.
I bet it is. With Robin Williams.
I mean, yeah.
I know.
Yeah, what's he doing now?
That would be my personal heaven.
What's he working on now?
Maybe.
Wow, this is a disaster.
I never realized they actually shot this in Glacier National Park. That's cool. Glacier's cool.
Yeah.
You know what else is a glacier? The pace of this movie. Am I right?
Heaven kind of looks like Dinotopia in this movie. And also, that would be my heaven.
Dinotopia.
Just Dinotopia.
I've always like, if everybody has like a personal heaven,
Right?
It does.
That's the art book, but like the city, the city in Dinotopia, just the CG city. I don't know.
I know this movie wasn't going to go down this hole, but like when you open up the thought process of like everybody has their own personal heaven, right? And we don't spend a lot of time like jumping into somebody else's heaven. There's like this little piece where it's like we're in the flight attendants, but it's not her heaven. They're in like the
says it is for a second, but it doesn't look that much.
Well, because they have like I envision it as that big city is like that's Heaven Central.
Yeah, it's like Heaven Central Station.
I think it's kind of like a village. Is it what's it called? Animal Crossing, maybe.
Yeah,
where you can kind of like heaven is Animal Crossing, but you can go to other people's heavens.
Yeah,
if you bump into somebody, suddenly you can be in their heaven. And his daughter's heaven is that little mural she had on her bedside table.
Yeah.
And the movie keeps cutting back to things in heaven and then the actual mural to remind you, hey, this is his daughter's heaven.
Yeah.
All this to say, I really would have loved to have bumped into a guy and shown up at the Interstate 80 Iowa truck stop just to imagine somebody's personal heaven just be it's the best fucking truck stop. You don't have to hunt down for parking. They got showers for everybody.
You bump into another guy. You're at the world's largest Culver's over the Wisconsin border.
My gosh, I love it.
It's funny because like this movie ended. Wait, no, don't you dare! Don't press that button.
No, I want to ask something, but I don't want to do it.
I watched this movie and then like the movie ended, and like 5 minutes after it ended, I was still sitting on my couch, and Becca kind of came down to say good morning, and we were just like sitting there and chatting for a little bit, and I was just like, What is like your favorite place in the world? It had me
thank you.
about
this is where I was gonna go somewhere.
Like if you and like I didn't tell her why. I just was like the movie had me thinking about like what's like your favorite place in the world? What's like your ideal spot to be?
She's something fucking cute, like
you, babe. No, she told me about this bridge in her hometown that like she would go to, and she has a lot of really fond memories of, and you could see deer from it. And I was like, to me, it's like my parents' backyard. I just have like all of my favorite memories are from my backyard. Mm-hmm. And it had me thinking, like, what would my idealized heaven be? And, like, I don't know. I don't think it would be my backyard, but maybe it is. Stuart, you were going to say something.
Well, I just wanted to ask the question, like, what would your guys' personal heaven be?
Via Pizza Planet.
That movie, Toy Story.
I would be in a theater watching What Dreams May Come.
That sounds like your personal hell. I don't know. It's a fun question to ask. Like with all the people. Well, it's a even more entertaining question to ask with all the fun people that we know about.
Yeah.
Like, what would Sam's personal heaven be? That's what I want to ask. What is first?
It be a golf course. It's so obvious to be an eternal golf course.
You're right. You're right.
Stuart's would be just like an infinite RV. You know, it's just an RV that goes on forever.
It's perpetually driving from one national park.
It's perpetually, it's in all national parks at the same time. And so you're in the RV, then you can just kind of like step out of the doors and be in a different national park and then go back inside. And the RV just keeps going. You don't have to drive it. It's just there. It's parked. It's always in every national park at the same time. And there's just different doors and different compartments and lots of space for all of his gear. He has so much gear.
I think he nailed you.
Yeah, that was
You
good.
could just bookshelves. You can keep all his books in it. It's just like infinite amount of storage plus access to national parks.
Yeah.
And
you
as
know,
many tents as he can possibly.
A big table, so all
Can have-
all D&D and board game nights possible.
Mm-hmm.
What's heaven if you can't share it with someone, right?
And that, I'm so glad you said that.
I'm so glad I said that.
It is like kind of the philosophical thing of like with this movie does get into a little bit with the whole soulmates and partner aspect of it all.
Everyone just seems like they're kind of doing their own thing in heaven. And
That's the
they're not
thing.
really hanging out with anybody.
This movie claims to be a-religious, but in Catholic lore, it is till death do you part because ultimately when you die, your marriage is with God.
Fucked up.
And
You know what?
right? And you hear that and you're just like, I don't know. I kind of prefer my wife over God.
What always
Like,
just fucked me up about Christianity growing up is it was just like, whoa, you go to heaven, what do you do? It's like, oh, you worship God forever. It's like, fuck, I can't even take that for like an hour.
I can't even do that an hour once
You
a
know
week.
what I think about a lot?
That just
is the
sounds
idea
like
of it's
torture.
like, well, people are like, I'll see my parents again in heaven. And I'm like, think about the like stretching back of that. Like, you get to heaven. Oh, my parents are here. I meet their parents. They want to meet me. Like, you end up having to like, I know this is not an actual thing that like it's not like this would, it's not like, it's like a fucking buffet in heaven and then the family gets together. But like, you have to meet like 7 trillion descendants because now the lineage is just stretching back.
Or you're saying like the obligation of having to meet all your ancestors would be very
because like
draining.
you would get there and like your parents would just be like, oh my God, it's so good to see you again, my son. Come meet my grandfather who you didn't get to meet, but I told you all about. It's like, your parents told me all about. You should meet my grandfather.
What do you mean black people could vote?
Heaven becomes super awkward. It's like the worst Thanksgiving ever.
Like it
You're
seems like now you're sitting in like a community center with like 7,000 of your descendants. Like the family obligation of it.
And like, what are the time rules like in the Inception universe of it all? It's like how like are you in real time with Earth? Meaning but like when you live an infinite amount of years, like probably if you die at like 80 and your kid's like 40 and they're gonna live to be 80, like 40 years. But it is the first 40 years in eternity you're gonna live. So it's like, when does eternity make everything else feel shorter?
Sure.
How long?
And I'm so tapped out of like my own understanding of Christianity and heaven, because when I was younger I feel like I understood it as like right now everybody is in a holding place.
Oh, like second coming shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
Okay.
And
Yeah.
heaven is the kingdom, and the kingdom does not come until Christ returns.
I
And
thought
sort of like
Jesus, like, if you accepted
and then heaven will be on
Jesus,
earth, and all this stuff in the Bible is like very interesting, but like kind of hurts your head to think about.
Yeah.
Where it's like there's not really. I mean, okay, let's get into it now. Do you believe in heaven?
I love this question.
Do you think there's a heaven?
Well,
Do you think there's a hell?
but it's the thing. It's like
This is like we're like fucking. This is like a
I li-
real bro podcast now, guys. We should start like.
I like
Yeah, you
phrasing.
cut the guy with the
weed and, like,
sunglasses.
Stuart, you believe in heaven?
I like phrasing the question more of like, what do you think happens after we die? Because I think that's a little bit more of a broader sense of, because like that implies that there's a place to go. That implies that there is a thing to take to a place.
Yeah.
That implies that there is a place outside of the physical world. Like there's a lot of assumptions in the question. So for me, it's like, just what happens when you die? And I mean, man, now I'm really feeling like, there's like I think I'm trying to think of what podcast or whatever that Richard Dawkins, big atheist, writes a bunch of atheist books, was asked the question. It's like, what do you think happens when we die, Richard Dawkins? And he's like, I just think the lights go out. And that's that. And
I think there's maybe the ideal scenario.
It's like kind of best case scenario.
Well,
right?
this
kind
is
of best case scenario is like lights just go out, and that's okay. That sounds like, God damn it, that sounds like peace.
well, no, let me. I have two things. I have two things, and I want to share each other's answers and go around more.
Go.
But I have two things. Like the first thing I'll
I have
say.
a whole Max von Sydow bit.
Great. I'm wait. So like, Keanu Reeves was asked by Stephen Colbert, like, Keanu, what do you think happens when he dies? And he says, I think the people who loves us will miss us. I think that's number one. Very beautiful and true. But secondly, this is it tackles a different element of the question because when people ask, like, what do you think happens when we die? What sometimes a lot of people are actually asking is, I'm afraid of dying, which is not a question. It's more like a statement, but it's like, do you guys remember what it was like before you were born?
Of course not.
Huh.
You don't remember?
Yeah, I was there during the Gettysburg Address. What if I fucking was?
So before
What
you were
then?
born, that experience you have not had, that lack of experience, was that painful?
No.
That's fine.
Was it scary? Was it a lot of like torture and like, was it any of those things?
No.
It
That's
got
fine.
darker in this room.
Yeah, did you notice that the lights
the
just kind
lights
of
are
went?
like going out right now. It's really,
That's because
it's really kind of
a cloud
ominous.
went over. It was very,
Well, maybe that's because.
That's how I think of death. That's
Sure.
truly how I think of death. I think of death as like, I think of the question that's being asked is like, do I have something to be fearful of dying? That's really the question. Do I have something to be afraid of when I die? Because that's like, what if because the two answers to that is that there is a hell, that there isn't a hell. Both are very terrifying answers.
I know.
But my solution to those two terrifying answers is, well, was it scary before you were born? Was it painful before you were born?
You could like solve all the world's problems with this, Stuart. Maybe it's just because I'm still a little tired and hungover.
But that's my take. That's my take.
It's crazy when you think about like all the pain and like suffering the world has experienced just because of religion, and religion sort of hold on people just because it gives them an answer as to what happens when you die.
It's ultimately the question.
And sort of like religion has sort of like captured and imprisoned all these people because
it offers an
it's
answer.
so much about heaven and hell and not about what Christianity proposes itself to be about, which is about faith and about blind faith and a relationship with God. It just becomes about, I don't want to fucking die. I want to fucking go to heaven,
Yeah.
And when you explain it like that and it sounds so simple and kind of peaceful, it's like,
Yeah.
people need to fucking chill the fuck out, dude. Like, it's not that.
The lights, like, if it is that, I think the reason why people are very against that answer of maybe the lights just go out and maybe it's just you experience the thing you experienced before you were born. And that sounds paradoxical, but then you realize, but I didn't experience anything before I was, and then you're thinking like, well, that's actually doesn't sound so bad.
I do think it probably a little different just because I think there is something to when you die and all those chemicals in your brain and sort of the DMT trip that you'll take. But I mean, that being sort of like that experience is like
dying.
Yeah. And I find very interesting just because, it's an interesting thing to think about that you'll only get to experience once and you probably won't know you're experiencing it when you're experiencing it.
There's enough
and like
literature on near-death experience testimonials to show that something crazy is going to happen when you die.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know what that is. We don't know what that's going to feel like or look like. But like, I think we all know enough just based on like whether, even if you've never even come close to dying, we've all had like a terrifying, like hold your breath moment of something. Or we've experienced loss. We've experienced like grief. Like just think of like all 10 emotions in the meters of the intensities. Like we've experienced one or few of those things at max level. And my assumption is death is going to be the max or absent of all 10 of those things. And not knowing what that's going to feel like is going to be scary.
Mm-hmm. You're right. He is taking so many notes. What is he writing?
I think he's coming up with an idea of what he thinks.
No,
is death.
I was doing something else.
No, I know.
doing
you were.
work?
I was listening to you the whole
Were you
time.
doing work?
I was not doing work.
He's doing D&D bullshit. Death. Jeff? What do you think happens when we die?
I think the lights go out. I'm kind of the same opinion.
Yeah.
I'm basically of the same opinion.
Cool, Mark. What do you think happens?
I
when we die?
I really don't have much to add. I kind of think that's just what happens. You know.
Yeah.
I think like the ideal version is like just a quick death you don't see coming, so you can't think about it, and then the lights are out.
Yeah.
Eternity seems like such a long time.
It does. And I think the people who are very adverse to that answer are living their life in a way that they have to have something to look forward to in their death. And I think that's a very painful place to be in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like try telling a Catholic priest who's never, whose whole dedication of their life is like, I'm doing this because I do actually genuinely want to help people on earth, but like also I'm trying to live the purest form of life to be as close to God and death as possible. There's this really stupid, it's not a TED Talk, but it's like of the style of like a TED Talk, but it's by this evangelical speaker. I only knew this because of like Catholic school bullshit. And this guy had this really fucking dumb metaphor. It's one of those things that like preachers will say and they'll get like a standing ovation clap and you take 10 seconds to think about it. It's like, that makes no fucking sense. But he has this giant rope and on the end of the rope is painted red. Okay. And his whole speech is, people put so much focus into this red bit right here in this rope and what they don't know. And then he pulls the rope. So it's like that little red bit goes away and it's just a regular white rope. He's like, they got all of this. They got all of this. They got all of this eternity.
Can you hear my eyes rolling?
Right. It's like, and you think like, you can imagine that getting like a standing ovation in an evangelical church, right?
Yeah.
It's like, they put all this attention to the 6 inches of red painted rope that symbolizes your life on this earth. And you think, oh, I have to make the most amount of money, or I have to, be as successful as I can, or do all the things I want to do. And they're not thinking about all of this stuff. I'm making the gesture of pulling the rope to reveal the quote unquote, air quotes, eternity, whatever. And I remember like, I was pretty young. I was still like kind of going through my deconstructive like phase. But I remember like watching and being like, but like, how do you know you have all that time afterwards? Like, and if you live your life in this small little red segment of the rope, in which case, like, you weren't a shitty person, but you lived your life to the fullest, is that worthy of burning the rest of that rope if that turns out? Mm-hmm. It's the thing of like, if you die today and you open your eyes and Peter's at the gates of heaven and it's like, well, shit.
Yeah.
Well, this is awkward. And you're like, oh, let's see. You didn't kill anybody, treated people kind of nicely. Oh, but I'm seeing here you called yourself an atheist, Stuart. So
game over.
yeah,
Checkmate.
I'm sorry, dude. Like, it's a party back there, but you're not.
You're not invited.
And the rest is history. But if truly, like, if people like us that are not devout and like we all get sent to hell, then maybe hell's not as bad of a place as it's advertised to be.
I know. Yeah.
If it's truly for Westboro Baptists and evangelicals that get to heaven, then I don't think that's a place I kind of want to go to.
There's this great quote on Stellan Skarsgård's Wikipedia of all places where he's like, if God really wants that much worship, then I don't believe he's worthy of it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like
Exactly.
an all-timer.
No, but you hit like a really good like
something I always,
point
like,
there, Jeff.
Yeah.
Like
latched onto is that was
yeah.
just like,
Mark, you mentioned like the problem of suffering, which is a huge like proponent of why people drift away from their spiritual beliefs. Is like, if we do live in a world created by an all benevolent, all loving, all powerful, all knowing God, why do 9-year-olds get bone cancer for no reason? Mm-hmm. Like, that's the question, right? It's like, and it's not a matter of, well, maybe that 9-year-old needs to get bone cancer because when they recover from it, there'll be a very strong person that'll donate to cancer research societies. Or say if they don't recover and they die, their parents will become so much stronger in their marriage because they'll bond over that loss. Like,
dude,
all these bullshit answers,
I
right?
grew up the son of, missionaries in a Muslim country, and I knew several people from a young age who passed away who I loved. And that was like kind of the thing that broke me as a young Christian, was I was like, I can't compute that.
Right.
And my parents could see me like as a young kid just being like, fuck, like we don't know how to actually tell this kid.
Yeah.
Because they still at the time were of the belief and idea that like those people that we lost, our friends, were not gonna to go to heaven with us. And I had all these questions and intense conversations with my parents, and I don't want to get too sad, but it was just the thing that sort of, I was just like, I can't fucking deal with this.
Yeah.
I was like 13 years old, and I was like, I think it's just easier for me to assume that this is all
there is.
But Mark, if that 9-year-old with bone cancer doesn't have the kingdom of heaven to look forward to, then isn't everything we're living through worth nothing? See, see how easy that is.
Yeah.
Like
it's very easy to have that.
Yeah, it's very easy to have that. But I would argue, that
it's the eternal question of like human existence.
Yeah,
it has since like the dawn of time, when like the first cavemen like looked to the stars and decided like they were the gods and like they're the souls of the people we've lost. Like it's the thing that people have like just been struggling to comprehend and will struggle to comprehend for all time.
yeah.
Do you think it's a concept a movie can tackle?
It is a concept a movie can tackle, and I'm gonna bring us back so hard right now.
Okay.
It is a concept.
I like this little
this was
branch
good.
we went to. It was good.
It is a concept movies can tackle, and this movie tries to lend itself some authenticity by bringing in the actor who is most equipped to deal with it, and that is Max von Sydow. Because this is like in a lineage of movies that will bring Max von Sydow in to lend credibility to them because of his time with Ingmar Bergman, like one of the great existential filmmaker. And like through, Wild Strawberries and Seventh Seal, like is one of the great like tacklers of trying to comprehend death. And like his movies never have a clean answer because there is no clean answer. And so this movie's like, if we put Max von Sydow in, that'll give us the credibility to really tackle this stuff. And then it gives him the most absurd role in the movie as the tracker of hell. Did I bring us back successfully?
Well, I think like the movies in a sense we're capturing these little slices of life of these
Movies are
narratives
dreams,
that
Sammy.
people are.
Movies are dreams, Mr. Sammy.
Movies are dreams.
Movies are dreams and lives are dreams.
Yeah.
Lives are movies. Life is a movie.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
No,
man.
no. Well, Catherine Hepburn, as played by Kate Blanchett, said, "Movies are movies, not life." Darling.
Robin's wife is not doing well. And
I think we have kind of summarized the rest of this movie already. Like, I don't think we have to go beat by beat. Like, she kills herself, he goes to hell with the help of Max von Sydow as a tracker.
This movie has beautiful sets.
This movie has incredible sets.
The sets are
the CGI like set design is great.
it wins the Oscar for it.
It wins the Oscar for it.
Yeah.
Fun fact about the visual effects. I guess the company that was doing this at the same time. Did you read?
Does the bullet time for the Matrix?
And they were doing like R&D for them at the same time.
Yeah.
That's like the team split up.
Yeah.
To do both of those. It's kind of cool.
I think that like this like era of VFX development is like a really exciting period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like this kind of run of where it's like this Matrix, Phantom Menace, leading into Lord of the Rings in 2 years. It's like it's an exciting time for VFX development.
Yeah.
Even if things like still look a little wacky, like we're really like trying to understand the potential of this new technology and pushing it forward with each new installment. And then it just like becomes rote, and now the things we get look worse than these movies.
Yeah.
Because there's no desire to like expand the craft.
Felt like they were trying to push the boundaries.
it felt like they were trying to push
actually doing.
They're trying to show you
research and
things. They're
development,
trying to show
know?
you things you had never seen before.
Yeah.
Modern CGI, unless it's like in the hands of like James Cameron or something, like obviously there's very skilled like craftspeople working on it, but they don't have a desire to like show you something you haven't seen before because you've seen CGI now. And it's of detriment to the craft.
Whereas this movie, like all the painted stuff, even if I don't think it looks,
Hey, you haven't seen it before.
100% successful, like it's tangible.
Yeah.
In a way that now, if they did that, I don't know how they would do it. They would just have it be
They would put him in a volume
CG environment, and it's like
because the paint specifically is nice because there you can kind of feel how much of it is real. Like set.
The flower petal, when he goes and he crushes it, you can't tell if he's holding a real flower petal, but when he squeezes it and it turns into the paint, and there is that, the blend of the two, just feels.
It's really nice.
It's really cool.
And then once he enters like the CG cityscape, like it looks
that
like
stair set is really cool down by the water.
It looks like Gladiator.
Yeah,
like it looks like Gladiator, where they have like the really ornate sets, and then they did the CG city extension for Rome.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of looks like Roman Greekish. Yeah.
Yes. Because apparently we started conceiving of death with Greeks and Rome, and those Egyptians from before.
Yeah, you can't just like give me the promise of this like world building of heaven and then like never delve into it.
Yeah.
Like I want to know what's going on in those buildings.
Yeah.
We go to the library the one time, you kind of just meet Max von Sydow, and he's just kind of
it's so quick,
and you just I don't know. Yeah.
I would watch a movie about like a guy who goes to heaven and like where it's like an hour and a half of just understanding the rules of heaven.
Like
I know.
Inception.
If you make that the movie,
I know.
I would watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
I've
that's
always wanted to
Inception.
do-
Inception's a movie about making a movie.
I've always wanted to do a fucking heaven movie, dude.
Me too.
I had a dream. Now, back on the subject of dreams, when I was a kid, and it was just a like military armed forces special ops groups, and they were just like invading heaven. And I had that dream when I was a kid, and I don't know, it just like always
it's permeated with you.
Always
You've told me
stuck
about
with
your
me.
pitch for this being a sequel to John Carpenter's Prince of
And
Darkness.
then then I had sort of the Prince of Darkness sequel. I've pitched this to you several times. I'm not going to do it.
Imagine a world where there was a movie. Like, imagine you go to the theater and you watch like Invaders of Heaven, and it's about like we have found irrefutable proof that that Judeo-Christian belief is true. There is a God. There was a Jesus. I mean, there was actually a guy named Jesus. But
at the bottom
there was
of
a
this
Jesus
church,
who is
we
actually
found
the
the
Son
portal
of
to
God.
heaven.
We found the portal to heaven. We are sending SEAL Team 6.
We are sending SEAL Team 6 to investigate
We are
what
going
this
to
is.
take Gabriel and we are bringing him back.
Is this Stargate?
No, this is just an idea I have in my head.
Have you seen Stargate?
Long time ago. Long time ago.
I watched Stargate. It's crazy.
Stargate is a weird ass movie.
Stargate's like.
But the twist of my movie is that they're not actually in heaven. It is an alien civilization.
That's Stargate!
From 2,000 years ago. Because that's what it is in Prince of Darkness, is that Jesus was an alien from a civilization 2,000 years ago who was sent to Earth to sort of like, as this sort of like study, but also as this sort of like, now we can control them by sending them this messianic figure. Yeah. We can have this control on Earth. And that's what happens. So when they go through the portal at the bottom of the church, they go back in time. And I'm not, cut all this out.
No, because like,
remember during the press tour?
Is Jesus the only alien figure that was ever sent? Like, are there other like aliens who tried and just didn't work out, like Joseph Smith or
in my story?
Yeah,
Jesus is the product of one of the aliens and the main character, who's this sort of like tortured priest who discovers it at the bottom of the church. He ends up going with the mission sort of to heaven, and he's seduced by one of these aliens, and he has sex with her, and that's Jesus. So
remember during the press
priest
tour
becomes God is sort of that twist
it's
of the movie.
Full tour.
It's the full circle where the priest becomes God because he is the father of Jesus, who they sent to be real Jesus.
I'm reading.
Please
like,
cut this out.
No, because
the press tour for Prometheus, where they were like, "Hey Ridley, so like." Obviously, this movie starts off with aliens, like, kind of creating human life. Like, where do you think the story goes? And he really just was just like, I was thinking, what if a couple million years after that they sent another engineer to Earth, and they're like, oh, what do you mean? Like, they came back and he's like, yeah, what if he was Jesus? They're like, whoa! And then he does not ever. And then during the press tour for Alien Covenant, someone's like, Ridley, like, what's going on? He's like, I think that'll be the third one. And I'm like, give me the third one. And then they never made the third one.
The tone of your movie that it gave me like brought me back to a scene in
Stargate.
the Keanu Reeves, The Day the Earth Stood Still, when Keanu Reeves and the actress, Day the Earth Stood Still, Jennifer Connelly, where they're like by like the arc spheres and all the animals are going in. And he's like, "What are you doing?" It's like, "I've come to save the Earth." And she's like, "You've come to save the Earth from us." And I just remember that drop. And I was like, "Oh shit, they're not good aliens, guys."
The key to understanding Mark's story is that two of his favorite movies are Prince of Darkness and Terminator. And he has found the perfect synthesis of them.
Yep. And it's a slasher movie set in heaven. It's a slasher movie set in heaven with tactical weapons.
Guys, get Bob Iger on the phone. We got to get some funding for this.
It's the most 90s movie ever, and I wish it existed.
You can make it.
You can make
totally.
it.
You get that made.
Yeah.
A little proof of
You
concept.
think John Carpenter will lend
John
me?
Carpenter will absolutely lend a name if you buy him like a $60 Xbox Live
If I buy him some
gift card.
some little Caesars and a 2-liter Mountain
So
Dew.
Robin goes to hell.
Yeah, Robin goes to hell and he finds his wife.
The guys are like, "I'm cramping
Okay.
up."
Why is this scene so funny? Why
It
are
is
there
very
bits?
funny.
Oh, this is a really bad day.
Yeah.
One voice is just like, today sucks.
Yeah, I'm sorry to say, but if you're gonna do the scene where he's walking through the souls of the damned, and you're ramping up to the climax, it shouldn't be this goddamn funny. You shouldn't have gone, "Oh, I got a cramp," and then like he almost steps into Werner Herzog, Klaus, where
How
are you?
the fuck did they build this?
It's a crazy set.
It's
is a
crazy, right? Because
crazy
that
set.
has to be real people buried underneath and then like laying down with their faces up and then sort of like fake faces that are like rocks or like sculpted. And those are the ones that he knows to step on. Because the wide shot, you see, I like paused it and looked at it and I'm like, the real. Like he has to know like a path because it stays with him pretty clearly. It's impressive. Like
It's very
that's
impressive.
why the movie is sort of like not. I wouldn't recommend this movie to anyone to watch.
But they comp in the line, "My leg."
Exactly, but
It does-
like, if you want to just like, I don't know.
Welcome, son. Son,
This should be like a haunting moment.
Yeah.
you're Klaus. Welcome. Welcome.
You're not my dad.
That's Werner Herzog as one of the guys. He gets his arms.
He's playing himself.
Yeah, but like, why does he get his arms? And other
I don't
people just
know.
are buried from the neck down. He gets his arms. Something ain't right about that.
I don't know. I mean, I think
Mail a letter to the committee.
Yeah.
Launch a full inquiry.
I love that Werner Herzog like is a genuinely celebrated like art house guy, and he will just pop up and stuff.
Yeah.
And he's like happy to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like when he's the villain in Jack Reacher, goes so crazy. And then they put him in The Mandalorian and completely wasted him.
Yeah.
That's like the most damning thing about that show is like they're like we're gonna put him in and then he just gets like shot.
I love the
like
baby. Werner, why do you keep coming back to the Mandalorian? I like that baby.
He falls through a crack and
breaks his mama's back.
Hey, and then he is in like the darkest pit of hell. It's just like it looks like a sunken cathedral or whatever. It's like it's like I don't know.
I actually really like this set too. It's
Yeah.
he falls to the bottom of this like, I don't know,
Hell felt more
weird
like built
concrete
sets.
ravine, and in the center of the ravine is his house,
Yeah.
and that's kind of cool. Like that, like the lowest pit of hell is your home, and it's empty, and everyone you know in there is
Decrepit
dead,
and decaying. Like I love the imagery.
She looks
of
like
that.
a Tim Burton character in this whole sequence. I
Yeah.
think, too. Just like she's got like sort of like the white streak.
Yeah, I
in
like
her
how
hair.
she's so sunken.
Mm-hmm.
I kept thinking like as he brings her back, her skin was gonna lighten up, like she would get life back in her. which is not what the movie does.
This movie is horrible. I know we keep saying it's like got interesting things in it, but you like it, right? You thought it was watchable, right?
It's watchable in a way that like I sat down and I paid attention for the whole runtime. I don't know if I'd watch this. Like I don't think I would watch this again. I would maybe put it on to look at it, but I would not watch it again.
What did you guys think of the sequence of him and his wife? Just that dialogue.
It's too easy.
It has no
It's too easy.
emotional weight whatsoever. It just doesn't
It's
work.
too quick. It's too easy.
It's too quick. It's too easy. It's not interesting. It's not smartly written. It's not.
Yeah, he has to like this has to be like a battle to like for her soul.
Yeah.
And instead he's just like
they're just having the same.
they're having the same conversation they had the whole movie.
They've had the whole movie, and
But there's like a point where it's like when he starts the conversation, I like the tactic that he kind of goes with because it's not an earned moment by any sense of the term, but like, because earlier in the movie, he was like, I'm your husband. I'm still here. I still exist. I'm always with you. And then he decides to go to heaven and fucks off for whatever reason. Whatever. And then he's in hell and he's like, I need to approach this from again. And this is where we have Max von Sydow's bit where he's like, why do we become other people in heaven? It's because you want to have the most like authentic relationship with that person without the preconceived idea of who they once were in life. You know, like I love you because we've had like years of friendship. And I like to think that if we met in the afterlife and you looked like somebody else, but still had your character, that we'd have that same
I'd
relationship.
still recognize you.
Yeah.
I'd recognize your
Right.
spirit or your soul.
Yeah. So then when we then go to Robin and his wife in the house and he doesn't start off with a tactic of, I'm your husband. He starts off with just like having a conversation of like, so like, how long have you been down here? Or like, I liked that. I liked that early bit between them, how they're like, he's just trying to like talk her way out, not as her husband, but just like, you're down here alone, torturing yourself. And like, I'm not going to try to pull you out with like the love of a husband, but just the love of like a other human being who sees you down here and in pain.
Oh, I just know it's all right.
If there's something damning I can say about the sequences, I can't even remember like the lines from it. And I watched this movie 3 hours ago.
I know.
Like I just feel like this should be like the emotional powerhouse of the movie, and him saying, I will stay here in hell with you just to be with you should be built up to. That's not an idea that like we're like introduced to.
It's because he doesn't start his journey to hell until like an hour into the movie, and then it's like 30 minutes of him getting there, and then it
easily
should feel like this moment of like, I've arrived. I have to do this. I have to go about this carefully. This is my one shot.
Getting to hell should present challenges. I'm not saying like he has to fight like Cerberus the dog.
No,
or
it
like,
should. That's
or
why
like
the
fight
movie
Adolf Hitler
structured
or
is
anything.
so horribly. It should start with him arriving, and then sort of the obstacles of getting to her are going back through those memories and navigating and those and discovering. And maybe when you get to heaven, you don't have all the pieces, you know, because you are your soul, but you don't have your brain. You don't have all this other stuff to help you. And he has to like hunt for it, you know, to get to her. But he knows he has to get to her.
Feels like
making it feel like more of a journey. And it feels like it just meanders its way to this emotional climax, and it gets there. And it looks cool, and it should feel cool.
No.
You know, you're at the bottomless pit of hell with your wife, and you're there to save her. You love her. And it just, I don't know. For me, and that's why I think the movie is so horrible, is that like it does not in any way
earn what
this ambitious idea, and and even if it was to execute it properly, it would be so sappy, and so overly sentimental.
But like I could work with
I
that.
like things like that.
I can
you
work
know,
with that.
like I can do that. I like Always. That's a fucking emotionally sappy ass fucking movie about like ghosts and soulmates and shit like that. And like, but like
Always kind of good.
Always is kind of good, man. But like, this is just feels like it is like a fucking VFX real production design real. I don't know.
You said earlier,
I'm surprised
like,
this guy wasn't like, I don't know, not to insult production designers and say they can't direct or visual effects supervisors who can't direct, but there are movies like that where it's like there is such an emphasis on its visuals and lack of substance and the writing, and I don't know.
It feels like the opening frame of this movie, as you were saying earlier, Mark, should have been like him knocking on the door of this house in the state of decay that it's in that we see, but without the grander background context of where they're at. Let that be the starting moment of the entire movie. And then, as you said, like this battle is for her soul that we see throughout like different past traumas and memories and emotions. And it's like,
because the question is like, the question should be like, can a suicide? It's so fucking annoying.
It's fucked up.
Depressing to talk about.
yeah. It's,
but yeah, he's trying to argue. I don't know.
This movie should like.
I don't even take myself seriously when I'm talking about this movie.
Yeah, it's like that's the what's weird. Like ultimately, a weird thing about this movie is the like the Vincent Ward of it all, the director. Because like you look at this guy, he got nominated for the Palme d'Or twice in the 80s for a Vigil and The Navigator, a medieval odyssey. He's like a New Zealand guy, and then when he busts into Hollywood filmmaking. His first movie he directs is Map of the Human Heart, which gets a similar reception to this. But what I find very interesting is he writes the story for Alien 3. And Alien 3 is a movie that is very concerned with the same ideas of death as this movie. And I find that interesting. But it's just like, it's weird that this guy who was like a New Zealand kind of auteur, like this is kind of his one big movie that he makes.
Yeah.
And then that's it. And then he just goes back to...
What's he doing now?
He's now a painter. He stopped making movies in 2008.
Okay.
He spends 4 years developing The Last Samurai, can't get it made, and then Ed Zwick takes it over from him.
Is The Last Samurai based on something?
The Last Samurai is not...
Or what was that? Just a script that was around?
Just a script that he spent a long time developing before it got made as is. It's just weird that this is like the one thing that guy makes.
What's this movie Vigil? Looks like it's kind of like a...
Vigil, it's it's hard to describe it.
The Navigator, a medieval odyssey. Like he's got movies that seem to have some sort of idea of like, like scope, like he Map of the Human Heart. Was that nominated for the Palme d'Or?
No, basically like after he breaks into like Hollywood filmmaking, he kind of like, I don't want to say stops being relevant, but like he writes
says he has maybe this has been in production for a while, probably.
He writes the Alien movie that no one likes, and then he directs Map to the Human Heart, What Dreams May Come, and then 2 smaller scale movies, and then he retires from filmmaking.
He has. Everybody has a story by credit on Alien Squared,
Aliens Cubed, Alien Cubed. Alien Cube kind of good. All right. Should we start wrapping this up? I think we finished the movie, right? Because he and his wife, they reconcile, they get to heaven, and they decide they're going to be reincarnated.
Well, the thing is,
they
like,
meet each other again as young children.
They set up like the fake ass stakes of like, you have 3 minutes or else you will lose your mind and stay in hell
The scene is
forever.
definitely longer than 3 minutes.
And it's like, okay. And then he's definitely in there longer than 3 minutes, as you said, Jeff. And then he walks out and he's like, I failed. I've given up. He's like, yeah. This journey was mainly for you to like accept that your wife's going to be here forever. He's like, no. I've given up on going back to heaven. I'm going to stay here. And then he turns back around. He walks in. He's there with his wife. And then what happens? What happens here, guys? Help me. Help me understood what in the writing of the page happened in this moment. Because I don't know.
I like had my AirPods in. I was like, just like watching the movie. I was eating breakfast and just like, Rach was awake, and I was looking at Rach, and I was just like, I'm like checked out the last 10 minutes.
Because the last, like, he tells her, I'm going to stay in hell with you, and because of that sacrifice, it brings both of them to heaven.
That's what, okay, that's what's written
what
on the
happens.
page,
Yes,
we
that is
think.
what happens.
Also, boys, just like 100% real talk, I'd do both this for you. I'd do this for both of you guys.
Yeah. I would stay in hell for you too, buddy.
Which, well, you know what that means, Mark? It means a lot more people should be able to get out of hell.
I know.
Right?
No, I know.
We figured out the secret Vincent Ward showed us.
Yeah.
But because of that, they go to hell or back to heaven. They reconcile with their Dalmatian and their 2 kids. And then he and his wife take a walk. And he's like, we should both get resurrected.
I'm surprised they were both reincarnated as white kids.
Yeah. He's
Just
like,
based on the track record of this movie.
Yeah. He's like, our kids will wait here in heaven for us. We'll reconcile after, but we get one more shot where we can live together. And then they're like, I'll find you in the next life. And it cuts to a young boy, and he's sailing a little boat in a pond in New Jersey.
Isn't it cute? Because when they first met, they were sailing a boat in Italy, and now they're kids.
His boat crashes into a little girl's boat. Both the boats sink. She offers him a sandwich. They're gonna find each other in every life.
Am I crazy that like I think the alternate ending in this movie has him?
There is an alternate
reincarnated
ending.
as like a boy in like the U.S. and then his wife is like.
No,
Southeast Asia somewhere.
Is an alternate ending where that is the case.
Okay, and it's more of like they've been reincarnated, and now they get to
the special edition DVD
somehow come together again, even though they're on opposite sides of the world.
The special edition DVD and the 2011 Blu-ray contained an alternate ending, the ending from the novel, in which reincarnation is not a choice but part of the natural order. Ian and Marie explain that Chris and Annie will meet again in their new lives, but Annie must atone for killing herself. Her new incarnation will die young, and Chris's new incarnation will spend the remainder of his life as a widower before the two are again reunited in heaven. Chris is reincarnated as a boy in Philadelphia and Annie as a girl in Sri Lanka.
Oh, so they'll never meet in that next life.
They will meet, but they will not meet in the next life.
Yeah, she's gonna die.
And
young.
I think that ending is just probably deemed too depressing by the studio, and so they do kind of like the sappy ending where they meet again, and neither ending is that good ultimately, because one of them is she killed herself, so can't be happy in the next life, and the other one is it's playing me here, you're nothing to fear. It's kind of like the energy that should be playing over that scene. Except that song is good and that movie is good.
I'm gonna play Siskel and Ebert review of this movie.
Yeah.
Williams' character determines to venture into hell itself to save the soulmate that he loves. This is one of the most visually imaginative films I've seen, and Williams somehow has a way of seeming at home in all these imaginary universes, just as he did in Popeye and Jumanji. The flaw in the film, I think, is that it compromises on a conventional happy ending just when it seems poised to push us over the top into something that would really have been special. That holds it back from greatness, but still, it's a very special movie.
Well, in terms of its visual strategy, it is great, no question about it. And I'm glad you signaled out Vincent Ward. I had spotted his talent in Map of the Human Heart, picking one of my top 10 films that year. And if you're looking for a video recommendation, Map of the Human Heart, which was also a love story, and I thought a very passionate one. This picture is stunning. I mean, we know that computer animation is a major development in film art.
Mark's jaws wide open.
This is the best it's ever been used, right? You haven't seen it used any better than this.
Well, it's not so much the technical quality, so much as the imagination that I'm responding to.
How appropriate it is for
the way that he exists in a landscape of paint that is still wet, because his imagination has just completed the painting that he is now part of. This movie is a movie just to be looked at, but I did feel that at the end, if they hadn't been so conventional, they could have maybe pushed it over a little bit more in the dramatic area as well.
I was so excited at looking at that did not occur to me, if we'll say. The other thing is, as long as I'm giving advice, see it in a movie theater, the best movie theater in your town, because you don't want to see this on tape someday.
You're right, you're right.
2 enthusiastic thumbs up for the beautiful What Dreams May Come, starring Robin Williams as a man on a mission.
Oh my gosh, more like Wet Dreams May Come.
So it's funny you should say that, Mark. It's very funny you should say that, Mark, because roughly like 10 years later, a little more than 10 years later, Robin goes on tour with his Weapons of Self-Destruction. And he does a really good bit where he talks about porn.
And it's not bad enough they make porn movies. They make porn movies of my movies. They make Good Will Humping. It's okay. Wet Dreams May Come. All right. Snatch.
I had that queued up because I knew.
Wet Dreams May Come.
Wet Dreams May Come. Siskel Ebert. Love this movie. But to be fair, their main comments are about like the look of it. And they even like kind of subtly said it's like I just like looking at this movie. Yeah. So I think it's clear, and also a lot of the reviews that came out when this movie was released was like beautiful movie, not very well written.
Yeah, which is true. That's the movie.
But
that's my thought.
I think like something that we haven't actually like really talked about this, guys, is like Robin Williams performance. Thoughts, comments, concerns.
He's fine, right? Like, I don't think he's like, this is not his best work. But I don't think he's like the problem with the movie.
No, he's not the problem with the movie. I feel like he does his Robin thing a little bit too much, but like, you know.
Yeah, there's a little too many moments where he's using like voices at the beginning of this movie. I'm like, all right.
I know.
You're reminding me that you are Robin Williams right now.
Mm-hmm.
He works in that he's sort of the everyman, but at this point though, he is Robin Williams.
Yeah.
You know. But like, if you were to be like recast this, I'd be like, I don't know.
He's probably the right choice for the movie.
I think he's the right choice, and I think he's great. I agree, it's not his best role. I did like him. I liked his performance.
I think he's good. I
think there's a bunch of
inherently
other
sympathetic
everyman actors who could do this. You know, your Tom Hanks, you know.
It's like
Hanks could crush this.
Yeah, Hanks would be great in this.
But like, there's a version of this movie with fucking Jim Carrey doing the serious thing. You know.
Yeah.
And it's like.
That's probably a mess.
Yeah. No, I mean maybe. Yeah. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, this does not feel like something Jim Carrey could.
You don't think you can channel some of Eternal Sunshine in this?
No, Eternal Sunshine is like
it's good because his access is his sort of like that guy also has like, and maybe even he was better at it than Robin at times, like sadness.
Yeah, Jim Carrey's whole thing is that he's sad. Mm-hmm. Like even his comedy is like,
but like but like the movies like Liar Liar are like angry, you know.
But like Dumb and Dumber works because of that one scene where he's like, "I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. Our pets' heads are falling off."
You guys are gonna do Carrie ever? No?
Carry on. If he like does something interesting again, maybe. Because as of right now, we are ending with Sonic the Hedgehog 3, which. Like
sounds like a kind of a great
I can
movie
definitely talk about. I have thoughts, but like I want to like if he does something if he has an interesting resurgence, I would put him on the roster.
Jim Carrey's also like I think I'm more interested in Jim Carrey's like personal journey than his film journey
because he never like.
What if Cuba is in the main role?
Cuba like
you think Cuba could do
no.
Cuba like Cuba had like a low register.
Sure.
Doesn't like even in Boys in the
low
Hood.
register Cubas.
There aren't that
even
many.
when he's big, you know, he's like Jerry Maguire. He's huge.
Yeah, no, he's massive.
Fucking incredible.
No, he's great in Jerry Maguire. He is great in Boys in the Hood.
Yeah.
And then what are the other? Is he good in Snow Dogs? 8 Below. Which one is he in?
Snow Dogs is the one he's in.
8 Below is the Paul Walker one.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like the more serious one.
Yeah.
Snow Dogs is a really good movie. I watched a lot when I was a kid. Also, so is Radio. I'm sorry. Jeez, I don't know what the
Radio?
Dude, I don't know why I watched Radio a bunch when I was a kid. I don't know if I need to
You watched all those early 2000s.
I don't know if I need to be locked up. We just didn't have that many DVDs. I don't know what happened.
What's going on?
But I've seen that movie
movie
a lot.
I mean,
Robin is like fine in this movie. I don't know. I don't think he is the problem with it.
The Cuba Gooding Jr. run on his Wikipedia like filmography, where it just hits like direct to video, and it's like years of direct to video.
Yeah,
is devastating.
What's the name of the woman who plays his wife? I don't think she's
in Radio.
No, in this movie, I don't think she's very good. She just does not work with him. And
Annabella Sciorra.
Yeah, she's just so thinly written. I just like she's like obviously thinly written, but like
her character is not very compelling in any way. It's like, I'm sad and I killed myself.
I don't know if there's a version of that. Like, it's so hard to do. There is a way to do it.
There's a way to do everything in this movie, and it just doesn't. It doesn't. It's not a well written script. Mm-hmm. That is the problem here. She apparently played a character in Law and Order: Criminal Intent for a season and a half in 2005, and then they brought her character back 16 years later for one episode of Law and Order.
That's
SVU.
good work if you can get it.
That's crazy. They bring like someone back 16 years for like a small role. Mm-hmm. Such a weird thing. She's in Tulsa King now. Good for her.
Yeah. Probably I give this movie a 6 out of 10.
It's like a 5, maybe 5 because it looks cool. I like. I'm giving it like the extra half star. Mark's giving me the death stare right now.
No.
I'm giving it the extra half star.
This is a movie
It's
I
like
don't...
if it doesn't look cool, it's a 4.
I don't have any strong opinions. Like, my 6 is a very soft 6. Like, if I was sitting in front of somebody passionate about this movie, I'd be like, okay, fine, it's a 7. And if I sat with somebody who like dismally hated the movie, I'd be like, okay, fine, it's a 5. Like, it's a very loose 6 that I have.
They do lose the print of this movie at the Universal Studios fire in 2008, and then like they find a backup copy in like Norway and like some
I'd be
warehouse
interested to
or
see
something.
the alternate ending version. If that's
probably on YouTube.
Yeah?
It is on YouTube, I think.
Yeah.
I'd be
I
interested.
think I saw. It was like a super long.
It's just on YouTube.
Isn't it like half an hour long?
There's a 26-minute cut,
it was
and
a
then there's a
26-minute
6-minute cut.
ending.
I'm gonna watch that. Maybe I wonder if that's better.
I put it on the favorites list. Watch it later. Mark, final thoughts on this movie?
I don't know. I'm kind of this in this weird place where I think
there's a lot of ambition to it.
I'm not sure if I think it looks as good as you guys think it looks. It certainly has a lot of cool sets. I don't know if its idea of heaven I think is very interesting at all. And even if it does look cool at times, I almost ding it more for like wasting the potential of filling those sets and ideas with cool things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh man, you like had an opportunity to like do something cool there, and I'm almost more upset that you didn't. Like that the set looks good and that you lit it well. You know?
Yeah.
I'm like,
you had a team of good craftspeople around you.
You let them down, dude.
And you let them
didn't
down.
Fucking, like, you know what I'm saying?
I agree with that sentiment a lot. Where it's like
there's a lot of hard work went into that, and it's a shame that it does not fulfill its potential.
We've said this many times in this podcast that there is that level.
I can be forgiving of like story failures.
I'm gonna do it again.
Sorry,
I keep pulling this fucking mic up.
For like artistic ambition.
I just hold on to it.
And like there's a flip side to that where it's like the artistic ambition is disappointing because it's not in service of anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was gonna say like we've said it many times on this podcast that there is that like there's that category of movies that are like almost worse because they're frustratingly bad.
Yeah.
Where it's like, this is a movie that's frustratingly bad. There are movies that are bad because like they were bad from the start, they were bad in the middle, and they were bad at the end. They were bad all the way through, and there was nothing that was ever going to save them. Then there are movies like this where it's like, this movie had ideas, and it had a good team of people around it, and you had like a decent cast, and like you had all the right ingredients, but then you just dropped the ball, and that's frustrating. And that can sometimes I've scored a movie lower because of that before, where it's like you were so close, you had the ideas, you had the elements, you just
I have the inverse where I'll be forgiving for ambition a lot. That's just kind of how I perceive movies. Like
you're a very positive person though.
You are
a
very
kind of a pessimistic person.
If I detect ambition, like I will I'll forgive some story faults.
Yeah.
But like for this movie, it really is like a 5. It's like a complete middle. Like I didn't detest watching it, but I don't think I'll watch it again.
Yeah, I'm like soft 6.
No.
Mark,
I have to rank it.
You don't have to.
I rank it worse than that. I think I don't know.
4, 5, 3.
I don't know. 2 out of 10 stars.
Whoa.
2 out of 5. I don't know.
Anytime somebody goes into the 3s and lowers, I'd love to pull up your little box and see like what are you putting this movie along with.
2 out of 5 stars.
Somebody says they give it 1 star. It's like you're really gonna put it up there with Transformers, Rise of the Beast, or whatever the fuck the 4th one was, Age of Extinction.
No, Age of Extinction is the worst one.
Yeah,
it's the worst Transformers movie.
Yeah. Here I am.
Unfortunately, the rest of them are all masterpieces. No.
All right. Anyone have any lasting things to say before I take us out?
I think we picked this movie to the bone.
We have talked about this movie longer than the runtime of this movie, which is always a good goal. Thank you all.
A lot longer than I thought we were going to talk about.
So much for listening. We have another episode to record after this.
It'll be quick.
Yeah, it'll be quick. Thank you so much for listening to What Dreams May Come. We hope you had a good time listening to this episode. If you did, please remember to rate, review, comment, like, subscribe, whatever platform you listen on, of which we're on pretty much wherever you get your podcast. Special thanks to Michael Van Bodingen Smith for the theme music and to Rebecca for the graphic design. Tune in next week for our retrospective on Robin Williams' The Thespian. What do you think?